Finally, on the question of the competence of the motion, the Senate, on the issue of the competence of the motion pending before the County Assembly of Wajir, the Senate ought not to involve itself on the validity of the proceedings pending before another legislative body. And this special investigative committee must limit itself to the question of whether the allegations made against the governor for removal are substantiated or not, and not as to whether there are other proceedings pending before the County Assembly of Wajir. That is our ruling, and we now order that we proceed with the proceedings.
Mr. Chairman, we are most obliged.
We'll serve you with these copies when we have a clean copy. Thank you.
Chairman, perhaps before Learned Senior calls his witness, perhaps just some direction. We note that the augmentation or the addition to the affidavit has been allowed. We are going straight into evidence taking now. We still have not seen the additional evidence, and we will struggle to take instruction and cross-examine on it.
Counsel for County Assembly, are you able to serve that evidence? You said you have it.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I can serve.
Can it be served right away before you put your witness to the dock?
We will serve it right away.
Okay.
Yes. Do I first serve the Senate, or I just?
Effect serve us and serve all the parties.
Oh, we are most obliged. We'll do that immediately.
Yeah, do that right away, and then you can call your first witness. So Counsel for Governor, if you need leave to make any response to what you have been served, we can grant you that leave up to tomorrow morning.
What we would really relish an opportunity for is to take instructions, because it's a document we're seeing for the first time. So it's the governor being impeached. We would need an opportunity to show it to him. I don't know whether the witness will still be available tomorrow morning.
We'll allow you up to tomorrow if you have any documents in response to table them before us and serve the other parties.
Thank you.
Okay, so we can take the first witness.
Just one clarification, Chair. Does that mean that at a particular point we shall stand down the witness so that the witness then can be available for further cross-examination in the event we need reply to the same?
Okay, the witnesses can be here tomorrow. If there is need, you can make that application, and then we can make our directions on it. So, Counsel for Senior Councilman Nasir, you can bring your first witness, and we request that the other witnesses step out if they are here.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I will call the first witness. I just want your guidance. As a lawyer, I'm not used to having my witness at my back.
No, in fact, we expect him to be at
the yes.
Yes.
I think that will be nice.
For time management, how long will you take with your first witness?
Chairman, he's the principal witness. He will be a little bit longer than the others, but I will keep time with the others. I will save time with him, with the others. And since most of the affidavit and the documentations are on record, will not take long. My chief in examination, maybe 15 minutes maximum.
How many?
15 minutes.
You will take 15 minutes?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
yes.
Very well. Okay, so witness, you can elect to be sworn in by either lifting the Quran or you can affirm. Yeah, and I'm told the team from County Assembly, we have received a signal from our security room that somebody is trying to interfere with the iPads, which are before you. Please don't interfere with them. If you remove any of them, it will raise and trigger an alarm somewhere. So please leave them the way they are. You can try to make use of them, but don't try to pull them off. Don't try to remove the charger which is there. I'm told you can't leave this compound with those documents. And then there could be some personal items on the drawers for the senators. Please leave them as they are, because the security cameras are watching. Thank you. Okay, you can take vote now.
And I, Honorable Abdullahi Isaac Mohammed, MCA El Nur Tulatula Ward, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before this special committee in respect of the matters before the committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Yes, Mr. Abdullahi Isaac, explain to the committee a little bit about yourself.
And as I said, my name is Honorable Abdullahi Isaac Mohammed, duly elected member from El Nur Tulatula Ward, from Wajir County Assembly. And I'm representing El Nur Tulatula Ward as a member for County Assembly, and my role is legislation, representation, and oversight.
How many MCS does the county of Wajir have?
And the county of Wajir is made up of 30 wards and 30 elected members and 19 nominated members.
Yes, and as you are aware, today we are having this trial here. Can you explain to this committee the background of this process? When did it start and how?
And the process of impeaching the governor started, and when I started collecting signatures for the removal of the governor. It started on 19th of April 2021, and I collected signatures for the removal of the governor. I had 33 members of the County Assembly signed.
Senior Counsel, do you know which volume is making sense so that we need to where is this evidence? It's in which volume?
I'll be referring to my...
Yes.
C?
Oh, okay.
CA3.
Honorable Chair, it's CA3.
Yes. It is number 9. It's number 9 on this. It is
So
CA3.
it's CA3.
CA3. Yes.
Okay, so
I'm
senators,
sorry
you
about
can
that.
make reference to CA3.
CA3. Yes.
Okay, continue.
Yes. Explain quickly.
Honorable
Because-
Chair, I'll also be referring to my notice of motion before the Senate and my witness statement and the annexures therein.
Okay. So you are the one who drafted the notice of motion and took it to Parliament and took it to the Assembly.
Yes, Senior, and I drafted the motion and I collected the signatures, and on 19th of April, I took the notice of motion together with the signed documents to the office of the clerk for verification.
Yes. For ease of following, what page do you find that notice of motion?
The notice of motion can be found in page, it's in Annex 1, it's in page 1, A1.
Up to what page?
It's in page. It's page one. Page one.
Up to what page? Up to what page?
Sorry, it's in page one up to page, and let me refer to my. It's in page one, page 14.
Yes, up to page 14.
Sorry.
So
No,
then
the notice of motion is in from page. It's from page 1 to page 14.
at the top, yes.
Yeah, page 13. So
Now explain to this committee very briefly what happened when you submitted that to the assembly.
as a procedure and according to the standing orders of the Wajir County Assembly, and when I presented the signed documents together with the notice of motion, and according to the procedure, and I will refer to my witness statement here, I delivered to the clerk of Wajir County Assembly, Honorable Charlie, a copy of proposed motion in writing stating the grounds and particulars upon which the proposal was made, being for the impeachment of the governor of Wajir County, His Excellency Ambassador Mohammed Abdi Mahmoud.
Just okay.
Yes.
Just explain what happened after you did that. You don't have to read it.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, after presenting the document, as is Section 33 of the County Government Act states, the clerk of the assembly has to verify to make sure that I have attained the one-third threshold required to present the motion.
And did you attain that threshold?
Yes, it is. The threshold is in Annex A12. That is page 14.
14 to 16.
Yes, page 14 to 16,
Then after that, what happened?
where 32 members verified their signatures.
Yes.
After that, and the clerk has then the clerk will submit the notice of motion to the speaker for approval. The speaker went through the notice of motion and was satisfied. After receiving the notice of motion, the speaker, and by provision of Standing Order 673, gave a notice of motion on the floor of the House on Tuesday, 20th April 2021 at 2:30 for the impeachment of the governor.
And did the House debate that issue?
The notice of motion was given on 20th April 2021. Usually, a notice of motion is not debated.
Okay.
I read the charges, and the speaker call of the sitting, and therein now the speaker will write it to the governor. Will write to the governor notifying him of my notice of motion. The governor has 7 days to respond on the issue, and that one can be seen in Annex A3, which is in page 19.
Okay.
Page 19 shows the notification of notice of motion of impeachment sent to His Excellency the Governor by the Speaker of Wajir County Assembly.
And what is at page 20 of your document?
That is page 19 of my witness statement.
And what is at page 20?
The page 20 is a letter written by the Speaker of the County Assembly of Wajir.
Page 20, I said. Look at page 20.
Page 20, sorry. Page 20 is a memoranda, public participation, that was done by the County Assembly of Wajir through the national dailies. That is a submission of memoranda by the public or public participation on the impeachment of the governor.
Now let me take you to paragraph 15 of your witness statement. Look at paragraph 15
Paragraph 15.
of your witness statement.
Yes.
Can you read to the committee what's the grounds of impeachment? What's that ground? Can you read?
Articles, page 15.
No.
Paragraph 16.
Yes.
16.
Yes.
Paragraph 16 is grounds of impeachment. Gross violation of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, the County Government Act, Procurement and Disposal Act 2015, and the Public Finance Management Act by the following actions, errors, or omissions. 16 says that.
No, wait, stop there. So that is your first ground. Was that your first ground in the notice of motion before the assembly?
Yes.
Can you highlight to the committee where they will find that? in your notice of motion?
It is found in my notice of motion. The notice of motion is in
No, that ground. Just highlight that ground.
that
Look.
ground
Yes. Is that what page of your?
of my notice of motion. Let me refer to my. It's on page. It's on page 4
Page
of
4.
my notice of motion.
So is it your evidence that that ground is captured word for word in this witness statement?
Yes, I can confirm that.
You can confirm that. Now explain very briefly what is the ground of impeachment under that ground one. What were you complaining about and what evidence you led?
On gross violation of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, the County Government Act, the Public Procurement and Disposal Act 2015, the Public Finance Management Act 2012, these are the following grounds. They are clearly shown. A was failure to account for the financial resources allocated to the county and appropriated by the County Assembly by failing to provide quarterly expenditure reports to the County Assembly in blatant disregard to Article 21A, 183 of the Constitution.
Now let me take to look at your witness statement.
Yes.
It starts at paragraph 16. It goes to 17, 18. Explain to the court, explain to the committee, paragraph 18.
Paragraph 18 is on the issue of pending bills. The county government of Wajir contracted the people of Wajir to do work for them, failed to pay contracts in the tune of 2 billion and 64 million. Considering that the economy of Wajir is very small, and considering the people of Wajir rely mostly on the expenditure of the county government, this is a huge sum of money for people to owe the county of Wajir.
So is it your evidence that that sum that appears at paragraph 18 of 2 billion 64 million is work done and not paid?
These are work done and not paid, and was presented by the CCM Finance as annexed in page 63 to 97 of my annexes.
Now to your knowledge, was this budgeted for in the annual budgets of the county government of Wajir?
It was captured in the budget of 2018-19, and it was not paid.
Was money allocated for
Yes,
this
it was
project?
allocated. The money was allocated for.
To your knowledge, what happened to the money if it was not paid?
The money was diverted to other payments that were that will be captured later in the motion. But this money was not paid.
Go to paragraph 22 of your witness statement.
Paragraph 22 of my witness statement. The actions of the governor, the actions on the part of the governor are also violation of section 33F, as he has failed to be accountable for management and use of the county resources.
What do you explain? What do you mean by
Now,
that?
I want to clearly show here that these pending bills that were submitted by the CCM Finance were just a portion of the pending bills. But if you go to paragraph 23, when these pending bills were submitted from the request by the members of the County Assembly, accordingly, sometime in November 2019, a 9-member ad hoc committee was constituted through a motion table in the County Assembly. Now, the committee was established because of the public outcry that this money that was declared by the CCM Finance to be the pending bill was not actually the actual pending bill, but more than that. And it will be clearly be captured by my colleague Hussein in his affidavit.
So where is the evidence in your witness statement and the annexures? Where can you pinpoint to the committee to look into that report?
And it's clearly captured in annexure A17, page 98 to 177 of my witness statement.
What does that show? I mean, it's a lot of documents. What does it show in a nutshell?
The committee, the formation of the committee, and I will take you to the committee report, and I just want to show you some few issues regarding the role of the committee, of the said ad hoc committee. And if I take you to page 100, and on behalf of the County Assembly Wajir ad hoc committee on pending bills, Now we were given, the committee is mandated among others. I want to read for you the mandate of the committee.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
The committee will see it's on page 100.
It's on page 100. Now the committee was mandated and tasked to verify and come up with the pending bills that were not declared by the CCM. The pending bills are in the tune of almost 2 billion also. That will also be captured in the affidavit by my colleague. Now, it clearly shows that the county of Wajir, despite contracting members of the public or the companies, has also failed to declare that these contracts were done and were not paid. They only declared 2 billion.
So
And these 2 billion were not paid, plus the remaining also 1.6 billion was not paid.
So to your knowledge, are those pending bills still pending?
They are still pending. I can confirm that.
Okay, let me take you to paragraph 26. Explain to the committee what are those figures in paragraph 26.
Now, if you come to paragraph 26, and it's clear that the roles, there is a separation of power. The role of county assembly is to provide, and one is to provide oversight role, representation. Now, in paragraph 26, you can see the money quoted, 70 million, belongs to the Assembly of Wajir for purpose of paying the salaries, mileages, and medical cover for honorable members. This money was supposed to be remitted on June 20th. If you go to annexure, and if you go to annexure page 178B, you can see the Wajir budget, that is 760 million. But this money, 70,216,902, was supposed to be submitted to Wajir County Assembly on the month of June for payment of salaries. This money, remember, this money is recurrent. It cannot be forwarded to the next month. The purpose of this money is to pay salaries, mileages, and medical cover for honorable members. To frustrate the honorable members not to do their role, this money was withheld by the county treasury. It was later brought forward to the next month. Remember, this is recurrent expenditure, which is supposed to be paid within that financial year. This money, that is 70 million, was misused by the county executive for purposes that were not appropriated by the county assembly. This is a clear violation by the county executive, and it clearly shows that the county executive has a role in making sure the county assembly does not perform its functions of oversight, representation, and legislation well.
Yes, and in terms of, if you look at from paragraph 28 to 34 of your witness statements,
Yes.
you make a lot of averment on breaches of the Public Finance Management Act. Can you list for this committee what are those breaches you are saying the governor is responsible for?
From 28 to
To 34.
if I start with page 28, paragraph 28 still talks about the remittance of the county treasury to the county assembly, and I wanted to bring out clearly that the funds, that 70 million that was withheld by the treasury, that was withheld by the county treasury, is up to now not paid. And we are now in the next, we are in financial year, the ending financial year 2020-21. And this money was transferred from 2019 to 2020. This is a whole year.
But to your knowledge, is that money in the accounts or?
To my knowledge, we cannot ascertain whether the money is in the account, but we can confirm that that money was used in financial year 2019-2020. As of now, we don't know where that money is.
Okay, continue.
Now,
Actually, let me ask you, just looking at your evidence, just summarize what.
Senior counsel, where can we get this annexed marked A110? A110. After paragraph 28, you have
the annexure.
Yes, A110 is at page 180.
180. Yeah?
180, yes.
It's good you guide us so that we know.
Yes, yes.
Page 180, yeah?
Yes, it's page 180.
Annexure and keep clear. Annexure A19 is a letter dated 30th June address to the head of treasury from the controller of budget on this issue. And annexure A10 is on page 181.
Yes, continue now. Explain or give examples of breaches of the Public Finance Management Act by the county government and the governor.
By withholding this money, the governor clearly violates Article 176 and 185 of the Constitution by disregarding the county government as an arm of independent.
Look at paragraph 31.
On paragraph
of your
31,
witness.
on paragraph 31 is a letter dated 24th June 2020 that can be found in page 181 of the annexes. On that letter, the Speaker of the County Assembly of Wajir, Honorable Ibrahim Yakub, wrote a letter to the governor asking him to come and give an address to the county assembly. The address, importance of the address is to make sure that you enumerate the policies and directions of the county government. Without direction, we don't know what policies that are supposed to be implemented. We don't know where the county is heading. The governor, since inception of the second county government of Wajir, has never done a single address, has never made a single address to the county government of Wajir. This clearly shows that the county government of Wajir has no direction at all. We don't know where we're heading. We don't know the policies that are supposed to be implemented. The governor has decided to remain mum on these issues.
But is it your evidence that first that since he came to office, he has not addressed the assembly?
Apart from opening the assembly, you know, there's a difference between coming to open the assembly and giving an address. The governor came on the first day when we sworn in the speaker to open the assembly.
And is it your evidence that it is a mandatory requirement for the chief executive to address the county?
It is a requirement, and it is a violation of Section 32K of the County Government Act 2012.
Go to paragraph 34 of your witness statement.
Yes, on paragraph 34, and we are talking about the emergency fund. Emergency funds are meant to enable payments in respect of in a county when an urgent or an unforeseen issue arises. Now, since inception, and it's captured in Auditor General's report on page 1, 2018, the governor has not provided. Once you withdraw money from the emergency fund, you're supposed to provide statements within 2 months to the county assembly. You seek approval. Governor never sought approval. He never provides statements regarding the emergency fund. This is a clear violation of Section 167 of the Public Management Act. This is like a cash cow to the governor because this money is misappropriated, is embezzled, and no report is given out. When the assembly seeks report regarding the issue, no report is given back. It's now clearly captured in the Auditor General's report on 30th June, where they don't keep separate account or separate statements for those emergency fund, the revolving fund, and budgetary fund.
To your information, how much money has been misappropriated under that heading of emergency funding?
In emergency fund, when we came in the year 2017-2018, the first emergency fund that we appropriated was 150 million. Emergency fund are usually 2% of the total revenue. So you can make the calculation is 183 almost each financial year.
So the last 3 financial years or the last 4 financial years, is it your testimony that the governor has not accounted for the emergency funds?
Yes, it's my testimony that he has not accounted for a single cent of the emergency fund.
And as a county assembly, you have no idea how it was spent?
The county assembly seeks information.
Yes.
Once information is not provided, the only avenue to go is through this impeachment motion.
Look at paragraph 38.
Sorry, again, Senior Counsel, where is this annexure A?
Annexure A1.
Which page?
112 is on page 183 of the audit. It's page 10 of the Auditor General's report, you can refer to my motion that was submitted to the Senate.
Now go to paragraph
It's
38.
page 183, is page 1 of the Auditor General's report, 2017-2018.
Go to paragraph 38 and explain to the committee what is this absence of the cash book and how that 409 million and 440 arose.
According to the Auditor General's report, the county government failed totally to maintain cash books. So this has caused a misuse of 409 and 440 respectively. This money was withdrawn with no cash book by the county treasury, contrary to the provisions of 119(5). This is a clear violation of Section 195(5) of the Public Finance Management Act. These transactions were not recorded either in the imprest, and it can be seen on Auditor General's report, page 16.
And that appears as Annexure A113 at page 213 of your document.
This one is page 16 of the Auditor General's report on my motion.
Yes, at page 213 is the. Okay, that's another report. Okay. Then at paragraph 40A, what is that 172 million you refer to?
172, if you look at the page 12 of the Auditor General's report 2017-18, let me refer you to Auditor General's report, page 12, and irregular procurement of goods and services.
Please,
amounting to-
maybe use the marked numbers on your document. 183, 182.
At the top, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Now this one is clearly in my, I'm referring to my motion that was submitted to the Senate.
Just explain quickly.
Yes.
A, B, this company called Fatco Construction and Transporters.
On Fatco Construction, it was raised by the Auditor General that this company was awarded a contract worth 34,747,105, while this company had no other companies were, 3 of the bidders were eliminated, but they had better, they had better experience, and they had had a lesser experience than them. This company had a lesser experience, the Fatco.
At paragraph 42 of your witness statement, explain to this committee that allegation you make that 119 million was misappropriated in Wajir County.
According to the information from the Controller of Budget, this 119 million.
SC, Senior Counsel,
Yes.
I didn't get that page properly. We wanted to know, you have paginated your,
Yes.
so which page was he making reference to on the audit report?
On
I will I'll get for you your
Chairman.
Okay.
But we'll be giving you the pages in every annexure from now on, so that we can follow easily. Look at paragraph 42 of your witness statement.
Yes, on
Okay.
paragraph 42 of my witness statements, it says that 119 million was misappropriated. And now, usually the county treasury, when they're requesting funds, they make requests with suppliers list. And if you look at page 216, and there's a copy of a letter dated 26 November, page 216.
Yes, continue.
Yes, there's a letter dated 26 November that was for request for funds in the tune of 199 million. These funds were cleared on, these funds amounting to 199 million were authorized on 26 November by the Controller of Budget. Now, the supplier list to pay the funds are also in page 218. For Department of Roads, there were 24 companies in the tune of 104 million to be paid, and in the Department of Water, was 104 million, And if you go to page 220, in the Department of Roads, there were 95 million to be paid from the funds. Now, if you come back to the page, if you come back to 43, the Controller of Budget authorized that money to be paid to those companies. But the money was diverted for other use. The money, if you go to 44, the documents that were submitted by the county government of Wajir to the Controller of Budget in support of their requisition listed companies were 104 million for water, and that was 24 companies, and 95 million for roads. That were 15 companies to be paid. That can be found in page 218. But the money was not paid to the said companies. The money was diverted. Only 36 million was paid from the Department of Roads. Only 36 million were paid. Sorry, from Department of Water, only 36 million were paid, and from the Department of Roads, only 43 million was paid. The remaining balance of 119 million cannot be accounted for. So you can see clearly there's a loss of 119 million that was misappropriated.
And that's what you captured, paragraph 49 of your
Yes,
witness
49, I captured that. And some of the companies that were paid from the money were shell companies that are associated with the governor.
Okay, let's go to paragraph 51.
Paragraph
51 of your...
51.
Yes, what's that allegation you make?
Now on paragraph 51, the issues that are raised here is overquotation by a company named Layli that was contracted by the Wajir County government to supply bale of ugali. A bale of ugali in a local retail goes for 1,600 in Wajir town. If you go for wholesale, it's even lesser than that. This company was contracted by Wajir County government to provide bales of 42,857 bales of ugali at the cost of 3,500. That is almost 200% of the local price. That one is clear misappropriation of the fund by Wajir County government.
So
Further, you can see some items that were not delivered 100%. Apart from the bale of ugali, the contracted company did not 100% deliver the items. And this money was later paid to the contractor at full. So you can imagine.
And that, where do you find that? At what page?
And in the annexures at page 229.
229.
Page 229.
And who owns that company of Layli General Contractors? Do you know?
Layli General Contractors is owned by Osman, the witness that you called, the person you sought to be called as a witness.
Witness.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the at paragraph 53. There is a number of contracts, a number of tenders you highlight.
Senior Counsel, I
Yes.
think there is a senator who wants to seek
Yeah,
a clarification.
sorry, Chairman, to interrupt, but if I got the question from the senior counsel, the question was, where would you get the evidence on who was paying for the supply of those bills of unga? Then he said this on page 229 is where you will get the evidence of payment. Turning to page 229, Chair, what I find is a letter of notification of award. So I want some clarity so that at least we're able to follow.
The issue raised by the issue I was trying to explain is not the payment. I'm trying to explain the notification of award. This company was awarded a contract of 149 million to supply unga at a cost of 3,500. So the annexure there is a letter of notification of award to the supplier in response to the request for, in response to so this is a notification of award, not the payment. Notification of award basically is an agreement
Yes.
between the county and
Yes, continue.
Okay, do you have page 2 of that letter? Because what we have is just page 1.
page 229.
Do you have the, do you have the next page of that letter?
We don't know the author. We don't know the author of the letter. Signature, the person who issued it. Are we together?
Them like in those of Unga here, Chair.
Just go to 229. At the
229.
bottom, there is no signature. There is no author.
229 is it will clearly be captured in my. Let me guide you to my motion.
Okay, if you don't have, proceed.
Okay, now look at the page 234. Just look at page 234.
Page
234.
234.
Senior Counsel, Senator Linturi says you have not addressed his concern.
I'm sorry.
I think he says that is the notification of the award. But I think the allegation is that payments were made. Is that what you're saying, Senator?
Yes, I
So
think
he wants
explain
to
your
see-
knowledge was payment made to that
Yes,
company
yes,
for
yes.
that emergency tender for maize.
And where do we get that evidence?
If I read through
Let
my
me be-
statement,
Let me be very specific and clear. The evidence that we are seeking here is the evidence for payment of that supply. When you refer us to page 229, what we find is a notification of a warrant for various items. But even if you were to look at this notification, there is nowhere where you will find there is any reference to the supply of maize flour.
and
Yes, just explain that.
I want to explain this one clearly.
Have you understood first?
Yeah, I understood him very well. So
Senator,
I want to.
You can look at the last item. There is, I assume, Ugali is what you are talking about.
Well, yes, Ugali,
Ugali.
Ugali Pale.
The last item
Flour.
is Ugali.
maize meal.
3,500.
Chairman, from where we sit, the witness really should get no such help. It is his document, and let him point out where it is ugali, whether it is maize flour. That is for him.
That's obvious.
Okay. Answer the senator to his satisfaction.
Senator, what I want to bring out here is from a statement sought by a member of the county assembly. He sought to be, the statement is here.
You'll do us a lot of favor if you make reference to a page so that
Yeah,
we are able to
I'll
follow.
refer to you.
Just read the page at the top.
This is page 229.
Next
Okay,
is
we
the-
are there. 229.
Page 229 is a notification of award. You can see at number 9, at the bottom of the page, Ugali, a bell, goes for 3,500.
Is there any place we can find that? The next page. Is there a next page first? Is there page 2 of that letter? To your knowledge, is there page 2 of that letter?
It was supposed to be a,
Is there any way we can find? To your knowledge?
yes. Let me find it in my, can you give me a minute and find it in my motion?
Okay, we'll come back. What were you saying in relation to page 230?
In relation to
Page 230.
page 230.
Yes.
Now this was a response to request for a statement on county food and non-food items that were issued. This was a statement that was sought by a member for Wagberi Ward. If you go through, they're asking how many food and non-food items were brought. So you can clearly see here, and on the delivery of those goods. If you go to page 231, there's a sleeping mat, there's tarpaulin, and the delivery percent is 93 and 80% delivered. But the main issue that we want to bring out here is the issue of award of a contract to supply a bale of ugali at a cost of 3,500.
Now, Senator...
There's no issue, there's no mention of payment here. What I mentioned here is the issue of 3,500 being paid.
No, but let's go
being
back.
being awarded.
Wait. Let's go back to the question by Senator Lanturi. To your knowledge, was payment made for that ugali or pale or maize?
A notification of award.
Do you know, that we know. To your knowledge, just if you say you know, say yes. If you don't, you say you don't.
No.
You are not aware.
Yeah, I'm not aware of the payment.
Okay. Now let's go to paragraph 53 of your witness statement.
Yes.
Can you explain those tenders and what the issues you are raising about is?
And on paragraph 53, these are adverts that were placed on the local dailies. The adverts can be seen on Annex A121, that is page 319. Page 319.
Yes?
Page 319. This is a tender notice by the county government of Wajir, and according to the budget that was appropriated for Wajir County 2020-2021, there was no provisions or there was no budget for construction of mega dams. As you can see here, there was an advert of 4 mega ponds that were to be constructed in 4 sub-counties. This issue clearly shows that the governor had gone out of budget. The purpose or the role of County Assembly of Wajir is to appropriate budget. And for you to change the budget, you have to seek the approval of the Assembly again. Now, they have advertised for these projects. Some of the projects were tendered, they were awarded, and were paid, while other companies within water, for example, if I may take you to paragraph if I take you to paragraph 62
Of your witness
of
statement.
my witness statement regarding the same issue. In paragraph 52, in paragraph 62, there's a company that was contracted by Wajir County government to provide service. The company provided service at a cost of 18 million. On 22nd May, the company completed the work and was given a letter of completion by the engineer. This company was not paid. The company sought legal redress and it was given 21 million as damages and costs on 26 November. Now, annexure here, you can see the on A23, you can see the annexures. That is on page. That is on.
When I start, let me take you back to paragraph 53.
I want to bring out clearly
Yes.
the issue of misappropriation of funds and favorism here. This supplier provided service to the county government, has waited for his money for almost 4 years. He went to court. He was supposed to be paid his money on 20th November, 26th November. But these companies that had done projects that were awarded contracts on December were paid their monies on 1st of February 2021 and 21st of April 2021. These companies are Fortune Enterprise and Lely General Constructors Limited. This one now clearly shows there's favorism, there is abuse of office by the governor.
So let's go now. Let's go to another issue, which is at paragraph 56. Can you explain to this committee what issue you are raising?
On page 56,
Paragraph 56.
On paragraph 56, this is in regard to Department of Medical Health and Services. County Assembly of Wajir has allocated over 2.4 billion in the last 3 financial years. You can here see annexed, page 320, is the Wajir supplementary budget. Now, this issue that will be captured clearly by my colleague, Honorable Hussein, in his witness affidavit, is it shows that Wajir County Assembly appropriated 2.4 billion to the Department of Health. That is in line with the public policy requirement, national health policy requirement of 20%. As we speak now, the referral hospital of Wajir, the renal unit is closed. The employees of Wajir Health Department are on strike. And we have provided 2.9 billion to provide those services. This is a clear misuse of public funds.
Now, the lawyers for the governor said that this issue of health was not captured in your notice of motion. Can you show this committee where in your notice of motion that was captured?
Well, if you go to my notice of motion, P for play.
What page? Show, say the page.
It's page 11 of
Page
my
11
notice
at
of
the
motion.
top.
Yes. Page 11 on my notice of motion clearly captures the issue of Public Health Department, Department of Medical Service and Public Health.
And it goes up to page 12?
It goes up to page 12.
Yes, so the other witness will capture. Let's go to the next one now.
Yes.
Let's go to paragraph 59. Are you there, 59?
Yes.
What are the allegations you make in paragraph 59?
In paragraph 59, and the allegations I'm making is that the governor is in abuse of power and authority contrary to Article 236.
What do you mean?
The governor has reshuffled almost 6 times the number of chief officers in the Department of Finance. This is a very critical department. We believe that the governor is doing this is in concealing important information in the docket of finance, where every chief officer who comes in is transferred again. So there is no accountability.
And at paragraph 60, what do you say?
At paragraph 60, there's also been a... At paragraph 60 is where now the governor has really delegated his duties to his wife, Ms. Khaira Omar.
What do you mean delegated? Can you explain?
The governor has not only allowed Ms. Khaira Omar to run the county, he has actually left the roles that were supposed to be performed by him to her. For example, as an assembly, or every time we meet the governor, or in every sittings where the governor is supposed to address the assembly, the issues that are raised there are raised by Her Excellency the governor, the First Lady.
Does she participate in the meetings?
She participates in the meetings. She makes decisions on behalf of the governor. Sometimes the meetings are chaired by the First Lady.
I want that to be clear. Are you saying that she chairs meetings?
Chairman,
Yes.
Yes,
that testimony is not captured.
Councillor Nyamodi.
That testimony is not captured in either the witness statement or the motion.
Your Honor, my learned friend is being just disruptive. We don't have to capture each and every issue. It will run into pages and pages. What we are making is that we are raising an issue, and it's for the witness when he is on the stand to expound on that and give us incidents of that issue. I think my learned friend is out of order.
Chairman, the governor is entitled to a response.
Just a minute.
Take notes.
I
Then.
think, Senior Counsel,
Yes.
the issue that Counsel for Governor is raising which is good that the answer captures. He says that this particular allegation was not raised before the county assembly. Is that what I'm hearing you, Council, saying, Council Nyamodi?
I'm saying it was not raised before the county assembly,
Yep.
and it is not raised in any of the witness statements or depositions we have, because
So-
the governor is entitled
So
to a
I think
response.
what I want the witness to show us is where it was raised before the assembly or where it appears in his
You
Paragraph
can see in my
page-
motion,
page 12
in
and
my
your motion
motion,
page,
12
page,
and 13.
page,
Page
page
12.
12 of 13,
page 12,
Roman 2.
Roman 2.
Yes.
Page 12.
Can
Page
we go
12.
together to page 12, Roman 2? I'm reading. Violation of Article 73. The governor has allowed his wife. Okay, Council Nyamodi, I think is there.
But Chairman, I
Yes.
think I have to make the point. Isn't it very clear when the witness statement says, and the motion, both of them, that the governor
No, I
has
think I've
allowed-
seen it. I've seen it.
I want to emphasize. I want to emphasize because I want to show how frivolous these interjections are.
Yeah,
It says
so
the governor has allowed his wife to literally run the affairs of the county
I
as the
think,
de facto authority.
yeah, I think Council,
Yes.
if you go to page 12, Roman 2, are we together, Council?
We're
Council
together,
Nyamodi?
Chairman.
I think they say there, the governor has allowed his wife to literally run the county affairs as the de facto authority.
That is the extent, Chairman,
Yes.
with tremendous respect of the testimony. The addition that she chairs executive committee meetings is not in any testimony. And that is where my objection comes from.
No, read it. It's continue. Chairman, it's...
Let's, excuse me, let's have decorum. You know, if you read through, they say that she will naturally make I don't know what that means, based on her own wishes and judgment without due regard to any law. So I think what you can counter that evidence, but what they are trying to do is to adduce evidence in support of that allegation.
It's okay, we shall deal with
But
him
you can
in cross.
counter that when you quote your witnesses.
We'll deal with him in cross-examination.
So you can proceed.
I mean, I think you are just explaining to the chairman and the committee that there are certain meetings where the wife of the honorable governor presides over. Can you elaborate us on that point?
I want to make a correction on the council of the governor. I didn't mention the issue of executive meeting. I didn't say she sits on the. I said on our meeting as members of the county assembly when we were meeting the governor. That is not an executive committee meeting. That one is a meeting between the assembly and the governor.
But Chair, maybe we might have to seek your directions once more, joining issue with Senior. How do we deal with scandalous evidence that has already gone on record and we do not have an opportunity of response? The question of scandalous and vexatiousness is an issue here, and it is not protected under the Evidence Act. We seek your guidance.
Perhaps, Chairman, another item of guidance with a witness like this. I don't know what we would need to do to have recourse to the Hansard of this committee meeting, because he's saying one thing and he jumps onto the other side and says something else.
Okay, I think for clarity, can we from you, Honorable Isaac,
Yes.
what do you want us to take on record?
I want you to take on record as me saying that she sits in the sittings between the assembly and the governor,
Not in the executive.
not in the executive.
Okay,
I have not
then
mentioned the executive meeting.
we'll order the other part which refers to the executive to be expunged from the answer.
Thank you.
And we take what you have said.
For further elaboration and deliberation, this one can be done by witness Honorable Shuaib. We'll take on that one.
Okay, can you explain, if you look at both your petition and the witness statements, there's this line that says that the governor has allowed his wife to literally run the county affairs as the de facto authority. What do you mean?
And Honorable Chair, orders to the employees of the county are given by the First Lady. Although it's not done formally, but the orders are given by her. it's clear and it's known to everybody in Wajir that she rules with iron fist. She's the one who is in charge of the county.
Now the next line I will ask you is that
Chairman.
SC Ahmed Nasir, proceed.
yes, yes. Now in that page 12 Roman 2, you say he ceremoniously officiates and signs off where necessary for decisions she unilaterally makes based on her own wish and judgment without due regard of. Explain, because I want to ask you a question on that. What do you mean by that?
I mean, the orders and the governor's responsibility is just to sign the documents, like the budget documents. But in the execution of the budget, the person who handles the chief officer finance, the person who handles the CEC finance, is the governor's wife.
Chairman, just
Honorable Outa, you have an intervention?
yeah, Chair. I just wanted to get some clarification whether these meetings were formal or informal, where the First Lady is arbitrarily attending as, as part of executive.
Honorable Isaac,
Yes,
you know, what Senator Outa is saying
yes,
is that when you make an allegation,
yes,
you know, if you look at our standing orders, what we are looking for is substantiation.
yes,
You will not be able to substantiate if you don't make reference to where that evidence can be found in your bundle. So when you say signs off where necessary decisions unilaterally, you need to guide us and say, these can be found in page this of this bundle.
I mentioned earlier.
Otherwise, if you just say, then how do we say this allegation has been substantiated before us?
These allegations can be further substantiated by a third witness who will appear before you.
So that's what you want us to record,
yes.
that you are not able to substantiate what you are saying,
Yes.
but the next witness will substantiate.
Yes, he has a
Okay.
sworn affidavit who will substantiate further.
Okay, we'll record it as such. Senator Susan Kihika.
Just a quick one, Chair, as I know he's saying, the witness is saying that another witness
referring to paragraph 3.
Yes.
So can you quickly respond to his question then?
You're talking about annexed herein.
I have asked you to read the last 2 lines of paragraph 3. Just read them.
The last 2 lines.
Yes.
Grounds inter alia of gross misconduct. Why don't you read for me and I see?
It's not my witness statement. The last 2 lines of paragraph 3.
Can you show me then?
This is your witness statement.
Yes, it's my witness statement.
There is a paragraph 3 in between paragraph 2 and paragraph 4.
Yes, 3,
The
I am
last
here.
2 lines.
I am here.
Please read to the committee the last 2 lines.
The last
Annexed-
2 lines.
annexed herein.
Annexed here.
Yes.
Yes, annexed
read.
here and mark A1 is a copy of notice of motion dated 20th April. Yes,
What is that?
this is a notice of motion.
When is it dated?
It's dated 19th.
And who is it signed by?
Abdullahi.
Is it a different document from the one you refer to in paragraph 3?
A notice of motion was presented on 20th.
What does it say about the date of the notice of motion in paragraph 3?
This is when I presented my notice
What
of
does it say? Just answer my question. What does it say about the date of the notice of motion in paragraph 3?
It's 19th 4/2021.
Is document 1 the notice of motion?
Yes.
Is it dated the 20th?
On top it's dated 20th.
Does it bear the date 20th?
It bears, yeah.
You signed it with your hand.
I signed on 19th, but I presented on 20th.
No. Is it dated the 20th?
Yes.
Is it dated by you the 20th?
By me it's dated 19th.
Thank you. Let's move to paragraph 9. And I want to ask you a question as an experienced. I want to ask you a question as an experienced member of the Wajir County Assembly.
Yes.
The Wajir County Assembly is, of course, bound or enjoined to carry out the provisions of Article 118 of the Constitution of this Republic.
Article 118.
Yes, it deals with public participation.
Yes.
Okay. Now, the Wajir County Assembly publishes bills and does other activities in furtherance of its legislative mandate.
Yes.
How does the Wajir County Assembly normally publicize its bills and its other activities in furtherance of its legislative mandate?
And there are many ways we can do it.
Such as?
Through public memoranda and adverts placed like this one. Yes, through local stations, through city, public halls. Yes.
Okay. Now, I want us to look at paragraph 9 of your witness statement.
Yes.
Where you state that, accordingly, a notice was placed in the local daily, calling for the submission of memoranda, public participation, and appearance of the governor of Wajir before the county assembly.
Yes.
Now, was any other form of public participation conducted in respect of this matter? Were there any local memorandum? Were there any announcement in local halls?
Yes.
Does your witness statement state that?
No.
And without downplaying the status of a county like Wajir, what is the uptake of newspapers within the county of Wajir? These newspapers you vaguely describe as local dailies. What is their uptake in the county of Wajir?
It's huge. The uptake is big.
Such as how big?
I don't have the statistics, but it's big.
Was this mode of public participation the most effective?
It's the one we use in our public participation.
You've told the committee already that you use more than this. And in this one, the only testimony you have is that this is the mode you use. Is this the most effective?
This is not the only mode we used.
Does your witness statement state that you used any other mode?
It's not captured in my witness statement, but
Alright,
the other
thank you.
modes we used.
Thanks. Now, I want us to go to page 20. Are we together?
Yes.
You're an extra AI4.
Page?
Page 20.
Page 20.
The document that says County Assembly of Wajir at the top and the bottom says scanned with CAM scanner.
Yes.
Okay. Now I want you to look at that document, and I want you to look at paragraph 9 at the same time. And I want to ask you a question. Does paragraph 9 state which local daily this advertisement was purportedly placed in?
Paragraph?
9. You're eating into my time.
Yeah, I'm reading through my paragraph. No.
Okay. Does the document on page 20 state which local daily it was placed in?
It's not captured here, but it states.
Does it state which daily it appeared in?
It was placed on a local dailies, but it doesn't capture here.
Okay. I want us then to move on, and I want us to get into the evidence you give under the grounds of impeachment, and I want you to look at paragraph 16 of your affidavit.
Yes.
How long have you been a member of the Wajir County Assembly?
From 2017, August.
From 2017 August.
Yes.
You're a first-time member of County Assembly.
Yes.
Okay. And what are some of the roles that counties assemblies play in the evolved system of government in this republic?
There are many roles we play.
What are some of the notable or important?
And we do oversight roles through committees. We do preparation of budgets, not preparation, approval of budgets.
Okay. Oversight and approval of budget.
Yes.
And the oversight role is exclusively carried out by the assembly.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I want you to look at the third line from the bottom and read for me the sentence that starts the governor.
The governor, as the oversight authority of the county, in performing the functions under section 32, is accountable for management and use of county resources.
Now, does the governor or the executive perform any oversight function?
His staff, in dealing with his staff.
He performs an oversight function.
He is in charge of the executive.
That is true.
Yes.
That is very true.
Yes.
But in the county government setup, is oversight carried out by the assembly or
By the executive, by the assembly.
Thank you. I want us to move on to paragraph 17. And I want to draw you to the middle of paragraph 17. And listening to what you have been saying, the testimony that you have been
Council,
saying.
just for my clarification and the members, which act are you referring to when you say section 30 subsection 2? Which statutes in your paragraph 16?
Paragraph?
In paragraph 16, you have said functions under section 30 subsection 2. Of which statutes?
In performing the functions under section 30.
Which statute are you referring to?
County Government Act.
County Government Act?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Proceed.
Listening to the testimony that you have rendered this afternoon, you have placed the blame for everything that has gone wrong or may have gone wrong in your view in the county of Wajir squarely at the doorstep of the governor. Mr. Isaac,
Pardon?
I have asked you the question
Yes.
that listening to your testimony, you have squarely placed the blame for anything that may have gone wrong in the county of Wajir squarely at the doorstep of the government.
You have not clarified where am I in the Middle
I'm
East.
getting there.
Where
I'm
the
getting
middle?
there.
Okay.
I'm not there yet.
Okay.
The general trajectory of your testimony
Yes.
is that anything and everything that has gone wrong in the county of Wajir is the responsibility or must be blamed on the government.
In the county executive side. Yes.
Now, I want you to read the sentence to the committee. It is the fourth sentence beginning the governor through.
The governor has to date.
No, the governor through. Fourth line from the bottom.
The governor, through the respective accounting officer, has failed to provide quarterly expenditure reports to the county assembly in blatant disregard of Article 201A, 183(3) of the Constitution, and Section 149 and 166 of the Public Finance Management Act, 2012.
When you say the governor through the accounting officer, what do you mean?
Executive committee members.
Therefore,
He performs his roles through the executive committee members. That's what I meant.
okay. Does the county assembly have the ability to summon executive committee members?
Yes.
Is there any evidence in your witness statement that this accounting officer that you refer to in paragraph 17 has been summoned by your assembly at any time?
There are several summons we sent.
In your witness statement, is there any such evidence?
There are several summons we sent, and to some extent even we impeach a CEC for failing to perform his roles.
And I acknowledge that that really is
But the
the
CEC
ability of
still-
the assembly.
Yeah.
But this accounting officer that you refer to in paragraph 17, you don't state who he is. But is there any evidence in your witness statement that you have summoned?
No.
Okay. Now, I want us to move on to the issue of pending bills. And I want to refer you to paragraph 22 of your witness statement, where you state at the top the actions on the part of the governor. Now, I want to ask you the question, I'm sorry. What actions have you referred to in respect of pending bills before you refer to paragraph 22? What actions have you referred to in your statement?
Pardon?
What actions have you referred to? What actions of the governor have you referred to?
We were talking about the pending bills, the accrued pending bills that were not paid.
Correct.
So the actions of the governor not to pay the pending bills.
All right. Have you referred to that in your witness statement?
Yes.
Where have you referred to that?
I said to date the same has not been paid, exposing the county government of Wajir to unsustainable debt.
Precisely. But you have not said that it is the governor who has not paid. Have you?
Who else is supposed to pay?
No, have you said it?
It is the governor, of course.
Have you said it? Let's move on, and I'll ask the committee to note your silence. Now, in the...
So is there an answer so that we know what to record to that question?
I have mentioned here on paragraph 21. To date, the same has not been paid, exposing the county government of Wajir to unsustainable debt. The governor, in his capacity as chief executive officer of the county and the chair of county executive committee, as per section 32H, is mandated and responsible to ensure that members of the county executive perform their functions. Right? That's where I referred to.
Have you stated that the action of the governor is not paying bills? That is the function of the governor.
I have stated here clearly, the governor as the chief executive officer of the county.
But what is the action?
He is the overall. The
What
back,
is- what-
the back
what
stops the
action?
team.
What action have you referred to in that paragraph? That is a function under the act.
So what are you asking?
Okay, sorry.
You know,
Honorable Isaac,
he's taking me round. I don't
Honorable,
know.
Honorable Isaac,
Yes.
you know there's a way we conduct business. When you ask the question, you answer the question. You don't answer a question by asking another one.
Thank
So
you.
just provide the information that is being asked for and tell us where to find it. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In the following paragraphs, paragraph 22, 23, you refer to 23, 24, you refer to an ad hoc committee of the Assembly that was put together to audit certain pending bills.
Yes.
And I just want to refer you to page 98
Page 98.
and ask you whether this is the report from page 98 to page 117, whether this is the report of that committee, Mr. Issa.
Yes, this is a report of the ad hoc committee.
Now, I want to refer you to page 116 of that document from the part headed conclusion and recommendations. Are we together, Mr. Issa?
Yes, yes.
Now, if I recall your testimony, what you stated was this was the report that indicated that there were massive problems with pending bills in the country.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in your own words, I want you to read from the top, paragraph 6.0.
Conclusions and recommendations.
Yes.
The questions of pending bills has bedeviled most counties since inception of devolution, and county government of Wajir is no exception.
I'll stop you there. You are saying that the issue of pending bills is common through all the 47 counties.
Yes,
And this committee acknowledges that.
yes,
It acknowledges that the issue of pending bills is not unique to Wajir County.
yes.
Okay, go on.
Further continued, non-payments of bills to contractors and suppliers not only dented the image of the county government, but has affected its economy and disrupted its operation. This also exposes the county to risk of litigation.
So those are the general observations that you make.
Yes.
Continue next paragraph.
The committee is of the considered opinion that the recommendations contained in this report will go a long way in ensuring that the issue of pending bills will not arise again. However, the committee wishes to note that pending bills have arisen largely due to lack of clear operational procedures or failure to comply with such procedures wherever they existed. It's therefore necessary to ensure continued adherence to operational procedures across all departments of the county government.
All right. What is the remedial action that is proposed by the committee in this paragraph?
The committee has now concluded from there.
No, in the paragraph that you have just read,
Yes.
what is the action that the committee proposes? Is it not
Committee has not.
that it is necessary to ensure continued adherence to operational procedures across all departments of the country?
Yes.
That is after noting what is going on, that is what you point out.
Yes.
All right. Let us go to the next paragraph. Continue.
The committee has now concluded the pending bills verification exercise and has recommended the following.
1.
The committee recommends an independent internal audit section be established by end of June 2020 to undertake regular system audits on various operational processes, including staff recruitment and promotion, procurement of goods and services, issuance and surrender of interest, payment procedures, fleet management, revenue collection, amongst others.
Next.
This is needed to ensure that the recommendations contained in this report are implemented fully if pending bills are to be avoided in future. The committee therefore recommends that His Excellency appoints a small team of not more than 4 persons from among the county government staff to oversee implementation of the recommendations herein. The chief.
That is a recommendation that you make directly vectored at the governor,
Yes.
that he appoints a small committee.
Yes.
Okay, go on. Roman 3.
The Chief Officer of Water Resources Development, Health, Roads Department have committed budget outside the allocations in the Annual Development Plan and CFSP. The Chief Officers are Yusuf Daib Ali, Abdullahi Mohammed Hassan, Noor Mohammed Sheikh of Water, Public Health and Roads. This is in contravention to Regulation 55(2)(b) of the Public Finance Management, County Government Regulations 2015, which stipulates that the finalized and signed contracts are budgeted for first before new projects are considered by the accounting officer for the county government entity. The above mentioned officers must be investigated by ESC and procurement PPO.
PPOA.
Yes, Public Procurement Oversight Authority. I think.
Now, why does the report focus here on chief officers?
They are the accounting officers.
They are the accounting officers.
Yes.
They are the ones who are responsible for the money.
Yes.
And that is why this recommendation is made to the chief officer.
Yes.
Is this recommendation made in your report in respect of the government?
No.
Let us go on to the next step. Continue.
The Pending Bills Committee further has come up with recommendations that will address various weaknesses and inadequacies that were observed in the course of undertaking this exercise, which, if implemented, will go a long way in improving service delivery. The committee submits this report to His Excellency the Governor in the hope that it will be of assistance to the county in its continued search for better ways to serve its citizens.
Now, we'll come back to the report in a minute, but I want you to look at, there are some documents that I had difficulty with, the ones on page 118, 119, and 120, and 121.
118,
118, 119,
19,
20, well, not 20, and 21.
and 21.
What are these documents?
This
they are in your witness statement, but you don't introduce them.
Yes.
You don't introduce them, but what are
These are part of the report. They are part of the ad hoc committee report.
Okay. And
The
what
annexes.
Are they? What are they?
These are documents that were sent.
For example, what is the one on page 118?
118, submission of pending bills of all departments. This is a letter sent to the CC Finance requesting submission of pending bills
And
of all departments of the
look
county
at-
government of Wajir.
Look at the third paragraph. Isn't it a summon that he appears before the committee?
Yes.
Look at the beginning of the fifth paragraph on page 119. What is its purpose?
Beginning of
The beginning of the fifth paragraph on page 119. What is the purpose of this letter?
the delayed payment of goods
Yes.
and services procured by county government led to deterioration of financial positions of business, and in particular the SMEs, which also led to negative impact on the county economy.
What is the conclusion? The last paragraph on the letter on page 120?
The last paragraph.
Yes. It is in
It's
this
in this
regard.
regard that you are required to submit a detailed list of pending bills of all departments of the county government of Wajir on or before Friday 29th November 2019.
Good. And that is a letter to the CEC Finance.
Yes.
Okay. Page 121. Page 121.
This is an invitation to appear before the committee on pending bills.
Okay.
This is the county secretary.
And this is to the county secretary.
Yes.
And you say these are all part of the report.
Yes.
Are any of those letters addressed to the government?
No.
Why are they addressed to the officers that they are?
They're in charge of those departments.
Good. But this report is produced in your affidavit or in your witness statement as evidence why the governor should be impeached.
Yes.
Now, I want you to look at the witness, the report that we have spent a few minutes on. And I want to ask you, what is the tone of this report?
Pardon?
Is it accusing the governor?
No.
Is it making recommendations for the better functioning of the county government of Wajir?
Yes.
Good. So that is the purpose of this report.
Yes.
Good. Now, I want us to look at paragraph 27 and 28. You produce two letters here, AI9 and AI10, which are on page 179, you refer to them, and 180.
Paragraph 27.
Yes, the annexure on paragraph 27, you refer to AI9 and you refer to AI10.
Yes.
Correct?
Page 180.
Yeah. Then in paragraph 29, you then state that the actions on the part of the governor is clear violation of Article 176(1) and 185 of the Constitution.
On paragraph 29,
Yes.
the action on the part of the governor is a clear violation of Article 176(1) and 185 of the Constitution of Kenya.
Yes. That is your testimony.
Yes.
Now, I want you to look at page 179. And I want to ask you the question, what was the action required of the governor by the letter on page 179? Who is it addressed to?
It's addressed to the controller of budget. It's addressed to it's addressed to head of treasury.
From who?
From the controller of budget.
What action is required of the governor?
Pardon?
What action is required of the governor by this letter?
The action of governor through the county treasury is to release funds to the funds
On-
was
on-
to
on
release
the
funds.
On the face of this letter,
Yes.
is there any action that is apparent of the governor?
This money, this
Is the controller of budget asking the governor to do anything?
no.
All right. Now, I want us to go to page 180. And in respect of page 180, I will ask you the question again. Who is the letter addressed to?
Yes.
Who is the letter addressed to on page 180?
The letter is addressed to the director of banking service.
Good. Where?
Pardon?
The director of banking service. Where?
Central bank. Central bank.
All right. And who is the letter by?
It's from the county treasury. It's from the CC finance.
Now, is there any action required by the governor or of the governor by the letter on page 180?
No.
Now, I want to take you further back, and I want to refer you to paragraph 25 of your affidavit. And I just want you to read the first sentence of paragraph 25.
There has been a failure. First sentence. Paragraph 25.
Yes, sir.
There has been a failure to draft the medium-term strategy for financial year 2020-21 in contravention of Section 123 of Public Finance Management Act 2012.
That is your testimony.
Yes.
Now, this is important because one of the grounds that you have stated that the governor should be impeached for is gross violation of the law. And I want you to refer you to Section 123 of the Public Finance Management Act, and I just want you to read it out loudly to the committee.
Definitely.
Senators, anybody wants to, if you want to follow the law, we have the statutes here. But go ahead.
Please read out Section 123 of the PFMA.
Section 123 of the PFM Act says
Yes.
County Treasury to submit county government debt management strategy to County Assembly. On or before 28 February in each year, the County Treasury shall submit to the County Assembly a statement setting out the debt management strategy of the county government over the medium term with regard to its actual liability and potential liability in respect of loans and its plans of dealing with those liabilities.
Now, Mr. Isaac, you will agree with me that what is referred to is a debt management strategy.
Yes.
And that is not what you referred to in paragraph 25. You made reference to section 167 of the same act in your testimony in chief. And I want to quickly just refer you to that provision. And the testimony you gave in respect of section 167 was to accuse the governor of not accounting to the assembly for the county emergency fund. And I will just ask you again, what does section 167 of that act provide?
Which one? 1 or
167. What does
167, 1 or 2 or 3? Which one?
All of them.
The 167 says annual reporting by administrators of county public funds. Number 1, the administrator of a county public fund established by constitution, an act of parliament or county legislation shall prepare financial statements for the fund for each financial year in form prescribed by the Accounting Standard Board. In preparing financial statement for a county public fund, the administrator shall ensure that the report contains information on the financial and non-financial performance of a fund. Not later than 3 months after the end of each financial year, the administrator of a county public fund shall submit the financial statements prepared under this section to the Auditor General. The administrator shall submit a copy of the report to the County Executive Committee member responsible for the fund.
Now, the section 167 consistently makes reference to the administrator of the fund.
Yes.
Would the administrator of the fund be the same as the accounting officer?
Administrator of the fund. For this fact is accounting officer.
I beg your pardon?
The accounting officer.
Okay. Now, in your experience,
Sorry, Council, where is that mentioned in the affidavit? Which paragraph?
no, this is his testimony in chief.
Okay.
He said this of his own mouth.
Okay, proceed.
Is the governor an accounting officer in any instance?
The governor is the executive chief officer of the county.
Please answer my question. Is the governor an accounting officer in any instance?
No.
So, does section 167 of the Public Finance Management Act refer to the governor?
No.
I am getting to the tail end of my cross-examination, and the rest won't take very long. I want to refer you to paragraph 59 of your statement on page 13 at the bottom. Paragraph 59, under the heading Abuse of Office, Gross Misconduct. You make the complaint here that the governor has reshuffled chief officers in the finance department 6 times.
Yes.
Now, I want to ask you the question, is the governor allowed to reshuffle chief officers? Is the governor doing anything that he cannot do by reshuffling his chief officers?
He is allowed to.
Does he do it in consultation with the county assembly?
No.
So, what is the basis of your complaint?
The basis of my argument is this being an important docket. The finance docket being the mother of all dockets in that county. It has to have stability. When you change constantly chief officers, you are giving room for malpractices. You're giving room for non-accountability.
When
So-
I said, with tremendous respect,
Yes.
are you the governor of Wajir County?
No.
And it is the governor's responsibility to organize his chief officers.
Yes.
I want you to look at paragraph 61
Yes.
of your witness statement.
Yes.
And I want to ask 2 questions. One, the recommendation in the judgment in ACC 47 of 2018 is that His Excellency, the Governor, Ambassador Mohammed Abdi Mahmoud, be investigated for abuse of office in relation of the case. Do you know whether, and this is the question, do you know whether the Governor has been investigated?
No.
Do you know the outcome of the investigation if it has taken place?
No.
Okay. Now, I want to ask you the next question, and this is an important question. Here, you annex a judgment. Isn't it? That judgment appears towards the end of your annex.
Yes.
Now, I want you to please show me that judgment in the motion before the Assembly.
Pardon?
Here you have annexed a judgment,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
I want you to show me the same judgment in the motion before the Assembly.
It's not in my motion.
So it is here for the first time.
Yes.
Now, I want us then to move on. We are now making good progress. In respect of paragraph 62, Batato Construction Limited, Company Limited.
Yes.
Now, you had, we spent some time with you on the report that of the ad hoc committee about pending bills.
Yes.
But in your statement, in support of your motion for impeachment against the governor,
Yes.
you pick out just this one company.
I picked it because it's in relation to the Department of Water, and it's in relation to awards of contract to these 4 companies.
I put it to you
Yes.
that you are debt collecting for this company.
Come on.
That is why out of the several pending bills, out of the several contractors who have not been paid in Wajir County, you chose this one.
Let me tell you something
I
about.
have put it to you, so it is yes or no.
It's no.
Oh,
I'm not debt collecting for this company.
very good.
Yes.
That is all the cross-examination I wish to subject this witness to. And I cede the rest of our time to my learned colleague, Mr. Degwa. And perhaps I, at this juncture, plead for a slight extension because it took a longer time to get the answers we desired out of this witness.
I suspect you, timekeeper. You had only 5 minutes.
My lord, this is sorry.
You're wishing,
One day,
wishing
perhaps,
me well.
Mr. Chairman. One day, perhaps. So, Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
This is an important witness because he is the mover of the motion. We really plead for a little more time so that we can test his evidence.
Okay. We are not doing very well with time. This is 4:30, but I will exercise my discretion and give you 10 more, so you have 15.
Mr. Witness, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
So,
You-
timekeeper, please.
You have testified lengthily about the question of pending bill, yes?
Yes. I have
Is-
also.
Is the question of pending bill a legislation or a directive?
Can I
I'm
have
asking
also.
you. Is the
Can I
question,
say what I've also said about pending bills?
I'm asking you, witness.
Yes.
Is the question of pending bill a legislation or a policy directive?
Pending bill.
Yes.
On our side, it's a legislation.
Is it a national legislation? Yes or no?
I can't get your question clearly.
Okay. Do we have any law that regulates the issue of pending bills in this country that Parliament of the National Parliament has legislated, or this or the Senate?
Yes.
Or would you lead us to that particular section?
The issue of pending bill
Yes.
that has been legislated by the Assembly.
I'm asking, has Senate or the National Assembly legislated on issues of pending bills?
The issues of pending bills. There were no law, but there was
There are
circular.
no laws.
Yes. But there's a circular.
And so here you are indicting the governor on an issue that has not been legislated, yes? Mr. Witness, it is your statement, averments that the county government is has accrued unsustainable debt, yes?
Yes.
What is the threshold of sustainability of a debt of a county?
Depends on the
What
budget.
is the threshold? Is there a threshold or there none?
The threshold is what they can pay.
It is not there, yes?
Yes.
You have also said that the governor has violated Article 176, 1 and Article 181, yes?
Where did I say that?
D, do you have your notice of motion?
Yes, I
notice
have.
of motion?
Yes.
Kindly refer to D. What is the averment there?
D.
You've said that he has undermined the authority of the assembly, yes?
D. A minute. Let me go to my motion. In D.
Is that your testimony?
It says violation of Article 176(1)
Yes.
and 195 of the Constitution by disregarding the county assembly as an arm of the county government.
And you cited a particular
Yes.
letter before this committee where the speaker is inviting the governor to come and give them an address, yes?
Yes.
Is the address given at the behest of the speaker or is it voluntarily given by the governor?
It's a requirement. The governor has to give
I'm
an address.
asking, is it given at the behest of the speaker?
It's
Is
given.
the address solicited by the speaker?
It's given in accordance with the law.
Mr. Witness,
Yes.
kindly answer me. As per Section 30 of the County Government Act, is this address capable of being solicited by the speaker?
Before I respond, can you read?
Is it capable, yes or no?
Can you read for me Section 30?
County Government Act, you have kept on referring to it.
Yes.
I want you to show us where Section 30 requires the speaker to write to the governor soliciting for an address.
Section 30.
Yes.
I refer to Section 32J.
Yes.
Submit to the county assembly an annual report
Yes.
on the implementation of the status of the county
Now
policies
my
and plans.
question is
But-
it done at the behest of the speaker?
But your question was through the address. My friend, you're talking about the address to the county by the speaker.
Witness, kindly compose yourself, listen to my question.
Honorable Chair, I need your protection here. I am being
Mr. Speaker.
The council asked me about the governor's address.
Council Ndegwa,
Yes. Speak.
maybe we need to speak from the same page. I think the accusation by the county assembly is that he has failed to deliver the
The public address.
annual state
Yes.
of the county to
Yes.
the county assembly. The accusation is not that he has refused to respond to the invitation.
Yes, I'm
So
aware.
they are two different things.
And the question.
I think the accusation is that there is violation of the law.
Yes. And the next chair that he has referred to, Chair, is a letter that the speaker is soliciting for this address. So I am leading the witness to paint the aspect of malice on the part of the county assembly. That's why I'm putting up that question. Mr. Witness, would you answer?
You're referring to?
I'll ask you this for the last time.
Okay.
Is the speaker supposed to write to the governor asking him to come address the assembly?
Because he has failed in the
Is he
subsequent.
supposed to write?
If he has failed in the previous years, he is supposed to write yes.
Okay. Now I want to take you to ground C of your motion.
What?
Are you there?
Pardon?
Ground C.
Ground C.
Yes. Are you at ground C?
Ground C. Failure. Yes.
Failure to draft minimum term strategy for the financial year. Yes.
Yes.
Who is responsible of drafting that midterm strategy?
The finance department through CC Finance.
The CC Finance.
Yes.
Does the governor double up as the governor and CC Finance?
No.
Yes. Mr. Witness, apart from the 2020-2021 medium medium-term strategy. Do you have any evidence where that failure has occurred?
No.
Have you ever sought for the provision of that medium-term strategy?
I don't need to seek. It has to be provided by the governor.
I want to take you to ground D of your motion. But before I do that, the absence of that strategy medium term, is there any financial consequence suffered by the county government?
Yes.
What are the examples of the legal and financial consequences that the county government might suffer?
You know, liabilities,
What examples?
failure to pay their debts.
Yes?
Yes.
Failure to do what?
To pay their debts.
Failure to pay their debts.
Yes.
We have addressed that. Let's go to D of the motion.
Yes.
You're accusing the governor of having not remitted the requested county assembly funds. Yes?
D.
Is that the accusation?
D is on violation of Article 176.
Yes? D. D
but-
of the motion.
D of the motion.
Yes.
Violation of Article 176 and 185 of the Constitution by disregarding the county assembly as an arm of county government and further undermining its three cardinal roles. Yes? Yes?
I want us to deal with the question of the remittance.
Yes.
That is D. You're accusing the governor of having failed to remit Kenya shilling 70 million as requested. Yes?
Yes.
Do you have the requisition before the
Pardon?
assembly, the committee? Do
Pardon?
you have that requisition, evidence of requisition that the governor has failed to honor?
Evidence of requisition is there
Do you have it? Okay.
as
He
an
does.
annexure. Not the governor has failed. The evidence of requisition.
Which particular month in issue?
It was in the month of June.
Has he subsequently been able to remit?
No.
How does the county assembly operate?
County assembly has borrowed.
Yes?
Yes. It has gone without the funds for that financial year. 70 million is still in the balance.
How is the county assembly operating currently?
That one is a question for the clerk.
No, you are the witness.
I'm not the clerk of the assembly.
You are the witness.
Operations of the county assembly are done by the clerk.
And I'm asking, Mr.
Yes.
Witness,
As a witness,
how
as
does
a
the
witness,
county
as a witness,
assembly-
I know this money was not remitted. On the operations of the assembly, I cannot talk about it because it's not my role.
So you do not know how it is operating, yes?
It's not my role to know that.
You do not know how you people are currently operating, yes?
The operations are done by the clerk of the county assembly. He's the accounting officer.
So is it your evidence that you cannot currently testify how
My-
you are operating
My,
financially?
my evidence here shows that 70 million was not remitted and is still not remitted. The issue of other
I am
operations,
not within the 70 million now. I have asked you about the current status of the county assembly.
Honorable Chair, am I in?
Counsel, I think the witness is saying he may not tell you issues of finance and accounting because that is something that is done by the clerk,
Okay.
who is the accounting
I will
officer.
allow him. I will allow his inability to explain. Move with me to ground L of your motion.
Pardon?
L.
L.
Move faster to page
Are you
6.
there?
That's at page 6.
Yes, I'm page 6. L.
Yes, but before I go to L, let's deal with H. You are accusing the governor of having failed to establish an audit committee.
And counsel, the timekeeper says you have 5 minutes.
Yes. You're accusing him of having failed to establish an audit committee for the county. Yes?
Yes.
Who is responsible of establishing these committees? Between the governor and the CEC and the treasury, who is responsible?
The CEC.
The CEC.
Yes.
We now move to the question of disaster and the fund that you spoke about. You remember?
Yes.
You are accusing the governor of having failed to deal effectively with the emergency funds. Yes?
In I,
In I,
yes,
what is their position?
the governor has never has never bothered to seek approval of payment out of emergency fund.
Where have you created these funds? Under the county, under the PFMA, or under the Wajir County emergency funds?
These are under county disaster management,
Under which regime? The county legislation or the national legislation?
county legislation.
County legislation.
Yes.
I want you to lead us in your notice of motion where you have specifically charged the governor with the violation of the Wajir County Emergency Funds Act. In your motion, you have it.
I have county emergency funds.
Yes.
It's captured in my budget.
No, not asking the budget. I'm asking you to lead us in your motion where you have specifically charged the governor of that violation. You might want to look at the heading of your violations. Are you there? Go
Yes.
to page 1. Is it page 1?
Gross violation of constitution.
Yes. How many laws have
County
you
Government
accused
Act.
of? How many statutes have you listed as having been violated by the governor?
There's the Constitution of Kenya,
Yes.
County Government Act,
Yes.
Public Procurement, and Public Finance.
Is there any allegation of the violation of this act?
Through Public
Is
Finance.
there any violation of the Wajir County Disaster Management Act by the governor? Is there that clear allegation?
Yeah, it's in my acquisition. The
No, I'm
governor.
asking what you have cited, the basis, the grounds. Is there anything like that?
Emergency fund is captured also in the PFM Act.
Witness,
Yes.
I have 5 minutes to conclude. Leaders, do you have that specific violation? Remember, the question of violation must be specific.
Yeah, it's
You
specific
do
on
not.
Public Finance Management Act.
Do you have it?
Public Finance Management Act.
Okay.
Yes.
This act, I put it to you that you never charged the governor for violation of this act. Yes?
On Public Finance Management Act.
No. Wajir County Disaster Management Act, where this fund is created.
No.
Good. Now, you are saying that he never sought approvals. Yes?
Yes.
Which financial year?
For financial years 18, 19, 19, 20.
Yes.
Yes.
Has this act undergone amendments?
Yes.
When was it amended?
In financial year
Which specific date was the act amended?
1920.
Are you aware that it was amended on the 14th of May 2020?
Yes.
Previously, before the amendments, was there a requirement to seek approval from the county assembly?
Yes. Through the PFM Act.
No, I'm asking this act. Wachana maneno ya PFMA. I'll come to that.
Council, if you're telling me to disregard, you know, laws, PFM Act is bigger than the Wajir Disaster Management Act. Do you know that?
You'll have another day to
Yeah.
discuss the law,
Yes.
not today.
So that is your
I'm asking
field.
that specific question. Previously, was there any requirement of
We
that
were
nature?
following the PFM Act by then.
Was there any requirement? Yes or no?
In the PFM Act, yes, there's a requirement.
Okay. But not under this act.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you have also accused the governor.
Council, you can turn your eye to the
Just give
timekeeper
me
there.
2-3 more minutes. I finish.
Timekeeper.
I'll wind up.
I think council.
I will light up. I know. my
You
senior is
must
not-
ask your last question.
Yes.
That
I
should be
want
your
to ask
last
you
question.
about the question of the relationship about the first lady. Yes. You
Yes.
said that she's the one who runs the show,
Yes.
and that she has been attending your meetings. Yes.
Yes.
Do you have any minutes to confirm that position?
I said I
do
talked
you
about.
not? I'm asking you.
I told
you-
the
do
House.
you not?
I told the committee about the nature of the meetings.
I'm asking you. Do you have minutes?
Kamukunji
confirming?
meetings don't have.
They don't have minutes. When she became the first lady of the
I
House of
say,
Wajir,
Council, I say that
This is
was
the
your.
this
That
is the last one. This is the last one. When she became the first lady of the county of Wajir, was her right to liberty altered?
No.
What of the association?
Pardon?
What of the right to association, was it ever fettered?
No. No.
Good.
Thank you. Any re-examination? Senior Counsel?
Yes, I'll take less than 3-4 minutes.
Thank you.
Just clarification.
Timekeeper, mark my time there, not
Yes.
more than 4 minutes.
No, I will be. Now, Mr. Isaac, look at page 6 of your of your document. Are you there?
Page 6, yes.
Look at paragraph J.
Page 6 of my witness statement, or
No, but of this document.
Oh,
The bundle, look at page 6.
yes, page 6.
Have you, in your petition before the county assembly, have you brought out the issue of the Wajir County Disaster Management Act in paragraph J?
In paragraph J, the section 19 of Wajir County.
No, just answer the question.
Yes.
Now let's move to the next one. My learned friend also, my learned friend Yamode referred you to your paragraph 61 in relation to the judgment involving what's his name, Jeff Moria.
Yes.
Look at page 13 of your the
Page
bundle.
13 of my. Yes.
Look at Roman 3.
Yes.
Have you pleaded Jeff Moria's case?
Yes.
And have you said that he was convicted and sentenced to pay 800,000 shillings?
Yes.
Now let me take you very quickly to just one or two issues for clarification. Now look at paragraph 9 of your witness statement. Paragraph 9 of your witness statement.
Yes.
This public participation, it was published in which newspaper?
It was published in Standard newspaper.
Chairman, that
Yes.
issue didn't arise.
The road.
It didn't arise. We asked does it state which newspaper, and he said it doesn't. So now he is testifying afresh that it was published in the Standard, and that didn't arise from cross-examination.
Listen to me, it arose.
He asked me.
I think you asked a question about this advert at page 20. So I think what
Yes.
Senior Counsel is trying is to clarify the issues that arose.
Yes, I just want the witness to explain local daily. What does local daily mean? Which local daily were you referring
It
to?
was in Standard newspaper.
So why don't you say it?
Yes.
Can we go to paragraph 16 of your witness statement?
16.
Yes, the last sentence, the last 3 lines, the one that starts with the governor as the oversight authority of the county. What do you mean?
He's the chief executive officer of the county. Yes.
Lastly, you have referred to this County Government Act variously.
Yes.
You also referred to section 30 of that act.
Yes.
Do you have a copy of that?
No.
Just one.
Functions and responsibilities of a governor.
Yes. Yes, it says functions and responsibilities of a county governor.
Yes.
And it lists all those.
Yes.
Are you familiar with those?
Yes.
So is it your understanding that any failure pursuant to section 40, whether it is committed by any person under him, he is fully responsible?
Yes.
Thank you very much. I have no further questions.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Isaac. You are now released. Okay, I believe, Senior Counsel, that was your star witness.
No, that was my first
We
witness.
have done close to 2 hours.
Huh?
We have done close to 2 hours on that witness.
Yes, because when
so we-
two lawyers
we
for the
take
same
the-
client take turns, it takes
We
long.
take the next one and we give you, for the remaining 2 witnesses, you divide time. Try and see if you can do it within 1 hour.
Actually, they're
30
very short
minutes.
witness.
Because it's 5 o'clock, it's actually 5 to 5. So we give you 1 hour, 30 minutes to sum up. But sorry, before the witness is released, did any senator have issues with clarification? Then please, you may resume your, you may go back to the witness doc. Sorry for that omission. Yeah, you just go back to the dispatch. If senators have any questions on any matter they want to be clarified, you can respond to them. Less than 2 minutes each. Yeah, we'll start with Senator Petronila Were.
Thank you, Chair. I will actually just take 2 minutes since ours is to listen and determine later. But I need clarification on the first issue was the letter from the County Assembly to the Governor on the issue of State of County address.
Yes.
Did you get a response from the Governor? You did
No.
not? Then secondly, when you talk about payment of bales of ugali, do you mean ugali, the food, or flour, or maize?
The maize flour.
Okay.
I refer to maize flour.
Then does the County Assembly have, or the County General have, a threshold on public participation? Is there some policy on public participation that you have, or that you follow within the county? What guides you in public participation? And then you also need to tell us, on the local daily, you say use the standard newspapers. You didn't tell us which page, so we can make reference. Thank you.
I think you have clarified the first two. You just talk about the last one.
The
Standard
last,
of public participation.
on standard newspaper. On
Standard,
the issue of
standard of public participation. Is it just an advert in the newspaper, or you also employ other means?
there are many forms of public participation we do, and I told the council earlier that we had other form of public participation. We had 3 members of the County Assembly of Wajir going to a radio station, a local FM. It's not captured here, but we have the clips and everything of the 3 honorable members going to Wajir FM, and the submissions here of the newspaper was on standard newspaper. I don't have the page now, but I can still get you the page.
Okay, very
Yes.
well. I think Senator, that's well clarified. Senator Linturi.
Chairman, very fast. On that aspect of public participation,
Yes.
when I start with.
Yes.
So when you did put an advert inviting people to participate or to give their views on whether the governor should be impeached or not, how many participants did you get? How many responded to that advert?
We received several memorandums.
Several is not a number.
We received like 4 memorandums.
4.
Yes.
4 or against?
The memorandums were against. Yes.
Secondly, then you also alluded
Against.
to the fact.
Pardon. Can you?
I'm done with
Against.
that question.
The question you asked, for or against what? The impeachment or?
Yeah, those were in support or against. That's
Oh,
what I meant.
the 4 were in support of the removal of the governor.
The 4 of them.
Yes.
Out of the 7.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, you alluded to the fact that in most instances, the governor is always accompanied in the meetings that is held with the MCAs by the wife. Now, where are these meetings generally held? In his house, the county assembly chamber, or where?
They are held in hotels in his house. Yeah.
It's an hotel and his house.
Yes.
Okay. Finally, Chairman, can you generally be able to explain very briefly on how tenders are given in the county government? This is because I have read your annexure 2229, and this is completely in reference to a tender that was made. So when we are bringing this allegation, this is out of the influence that the governor relating to the process of a tender, or he just wakes up and tells his people do or give company ABC the work to do.
Honorable Senator, sorry for interruption, but I can't hear you well. The mic there is a bit.
What he's asking is
Yes.
on the tenders.
Yes. On
When
which
the-
page?
When you allege that
Yeah.
the governor directs who should be given a tender,
Yes.
does that emanate from a process of tendering, or he violates all laws and just directs that give company X the tender?
On which on which page of my
No, that's
witness?
a general question.
General question.
Yeah.
The issue that I
Does
was
it
bringing.
arise from the normal tendering process, or he personally ignores the law and directs who should be given a tender?
The normal tendering process are actually not followed. You see, for example, in applying for a tender, the governor and his people, what they do is 4 or 5 companies from the same individual apply for the same tender. So already one is already known. So when you use 4 companies from the same what do you call it, the same applicant, you have one of the companies becomes the lowest bidder. So there's no competition there. It's not clear. Also, the issue of tendering, we were talking about the split projects. Most of the projects, if you have seen in the report by the CEC Finance, most of the projects that are there are split projects that are less than 4 million. Those projects are can easily be manipulated. For example, it doesn't require tendering, it's a quotation. We have a 2 billion pending bill here that is almost all of it split projects. So those ones can easily be manipulated. They are given at the discretion of the chief officer because they are not advertised. A project that is worth 3.9 can be given by the chief officer. He has that authority.
Okay, very well. You are well answered. Thank you. I'm told there's a problem with our audio system. Is it fixed always? Is it okay now? Is the system okay now? Just hold on for 2 minutes as we try to fix our sound system.
One, two, one, two, one, two, one, two.
The invitations are done by the governor, but the meeting is done by, the chairing is done by the first lady.
In the governor's house.
In the governor's house, in the hotels, yes.
But in the governor's house, you expect the first lady to be there. The other one is, The other one is,
The,
when you say that when the governor are tendering the tenders, he does it with his people. Who are these his people? Who are these people you are calling his people?
there are web of companies that have been listed by my colleague Honorable Shoaib Barre, who will clearly demonstrate to you the number of companies that are tendered, that the governor uses, the number of proxies that the governor uses. So I don't have the chart here, but it will clearly be explained by my colleague.
Okay,
Yes.
very well. Thank you, Senator. Senator Algura. Thank you, Chair. Chair, I would like to get some clarification on the issue of these tenderings, where we have tender. Please speak to the mic, Senator. Yeah, there's this tender number, basically the tender on supply of food, of relief food, which you said tender awarded to Lely Construction Company, which is associated with the governor and his family. We have that evidence of association.
Yes,
Actually, they are members, directors of the company.
yes.
And is it provided anywhere in the document?
It's provided in the affidavit of my colleague Honorable Shoaib. Yes.
Then the approved budget, which you said that the 4 dams have not been factored in. Do you have a copy of that approved project which shows
We have the copy of the budget that was approved by the Assembly.
which is where?
2021-22 is in page.
Yes, in page.
Yes, it is. It's in page. In my motion that I supplied the Senate, it's in Annexure D. It's in Annexure E.
That is at page what? Senator wants to know. It's at page what? Council, you can help your client to pick out the page.
Page
320.
320. Page 320.
320. Senator, are you good?
If you go to page 320, Department of Water. Honorable Shoaib,
Okay, very well.
he will come and give out the.
That's clear. That's clear. Senator Uta.
Thank you, Chairman. I just want to ask the witness, when he said that they normally have what we call informal meeting, where the First Lady has alleged to have privilege of taking as an executive, whether this such a meeting which we refer as Kamkunji here, do they normally get a memo? Is it from the speaker or from the governor? Because here we have Kamkunji where normally, we get a memo from the speaker, and therefore we will retreat to have a meeting which is not what we call formal.
Honorable Senator, I can see the issue of meeting with the First Lady has taken over the whole issue. The major issue I wanted to bring out here is not only, I was talking about the Assembly side, but the First Lady is implicated in almost all dealings of the county government. And that one will be clearly explained by my colleague. But the issue that I wanted to bring out is her involvement in other sectors of the county. For example, the issue of the Department of Finance, their dealings and the payments that are made by the Department of Finance. If you closely look at it, you'll find that those companies that are paid are mostly in relation to the First Lady. So, and the issue of the meeting was just from the side of the Assembly, but the dealings that the First Lady has with the county government, as explained, as said by my counsel, has tentacles through every part of the every department of the county government. So that one will be brought clearly by the signed affidavit by my colleague.
Okay, thank you. I think that is it. You are now released. We can take the next witness.
Chairman, I just want to seek your clarification. I know time is not on our side in terms of the witnesses we have and those we have to go. But today is the last day of Ramadan,
Yes.
and tomorrow is Eid. So I just want to get your direction. When do we break? Because actually, if it was any other day, I would not have mind proceeding. But being the last day, there are certain special feelings one gets, you know. So I was of the view that I think we should break at 6.
Are you able to manage your witnesses up to 6?
Not witness, maybe not all of them, just one of them.
Because we must conclude your case today, Counsel.
How early can we see tomorrow?
I don't know. The Muslims said they want us to
Yesterday
begin.
we said
10.
tomorrow because we prayers we sit at 10.
Then how late can we sit tomorrow, Your Honor, Mr. Chairman? How late can we sit tomorrow? Because tomorrow we can sit as late as the rules allow.
So today you want us to break at 6?
At 6, yes.
Okay, I don't know. We'll consult and come back to you.
I think what I can do is let me lead the witness examination in chief. Then we stop. Then my learned friend can take tomorrow when we start for cross-examination.
I'll have to consult because, you know, we need to try and have this concluded tomorrow. Counsel Nyamodi, how many witnesses are you calling?
We're calling
6.
altogether.
And you estimate each to take how long?
They are not long witnesses. They are coming to make response to technical issues.
Yeah.
But perhaps I just want to add my voice to Learned Senior's request. There is one witness he has, which I am unable to cross-examine today. And the reason I'm unable to cross-examine him, his statement we have only just received, and the additional information has only just come. So I also would request that if that is the witness, he can be led in chief, and I start with his cross, and I promise to be straight to the point tomorrow morning.
Let me see by indication. How long will you need for your 6 witnesses each?
About 30 minutes.
Each. So that's a total of 3 hours.
On average 30 minutes, there are some who may be shorter.
Okay. Senior Counsel Nasir, your cross-examination?
His witnesses. I think they are addressing technical issues.
So you'll take like how
mostly
long
of law. I will maybe 10 minutes.
for cross-examination?
Yes.
So that gives us 4 hours. Yeah, we will give you 30 each, 3 hours. Then Senior Counsel cross-examination, 1 hour, so about 4 hours. Okay. Okay, let's see how far we can go. You can call your witness.
Yes, Your Honor, I will call Honorable Shoaib Barre Ahmed.
So, Senior Counsel Nasir,
Yes, Your Honor.
you had wanted us to start earlier than 10 tomorrow.
I will be guided by there's a senator here who's
But anyway, the senators who are Muslims had expressed their wish that we start at 10. So I think the only thing you can do is to help us with time management tomorrow. You limit your cross-examination and you make your witnesses brief. Prepare them on the pages you want them to cite so that we move faster.
So, I think.
Yeah.
We will do our part.
You'll do your part, eh? Okay. That's a professional undertaking.
Yes.
That's a professional undertaking.
I'm not senior counsel, but yes, professional.
Okay. Senator Linturi.
Or probably for purposes of maintaining time, managing time, if the witnesses were to adopt their statements and then they are cross-examined, we will save a lot of time if they so elect.
Yeah, so there is even another request, if you can, they can adopt their statements, then they go direct to cross-examination. Those you think are really technical.
Yeah, that rule, Chair, could be applicable only with only one exception to one witness.
Only one
A
exception.
bit technical.
Okay.
Yes.
I think you are respected counsels. I want to trust your word that you try and make it easier for us so that we are able to conclude tomorrow. Yeah, and we also need to accommodate our Muslim brothers who need to leave at 6. Yeah? Okay? So, we proceed?
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Bismillah. I, Shoaib Barre Ahmed, do solemnly swear that the evidence I shall give before this special committee in respect of the matters before the committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
We're looking at CA7. Chairman. CA7. Yes.
Okay, senators, you have CA7? We are together? Okay, we can proceed.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Ahmed, briefly introduce yourself to the committee.
Chair, my name is Shoaib Barre Ahmed, the MCA for Deep Ward, and the Chair for Roads, Transport and Infrastructure Committee in the County Assembly. I am the seconder of this motion for the impeachment of the Governor of Wajir County before this Honorable Senate Committee.
Now, your affidavit, I see, is about, your affidavit is 27 paragraphs, but you basically talk about the second lady. Can you capture for the members the main features of your complaint against the first lady?
Basically, my evidence is revolving around the first family, and specifically the first lady, and at times it comes to even the governor himself, because of the misdealings in the county. I might say it is impunity of the highest order being practiced there. A chair, I'm on oath, other than the statement and the affidavit deponed here. Whatever I say is to the truth on the best of my knowledge, Mr. Chairman. So, the misdealings in Wajir County have reached a point that as members we could not take it anymore. Our constitutional mandate provides us now for our oversight role to take the next step forward. Chair, there are a lot of investigative agencies in this country that have taken steps at least to bring order and sanity to Wajir County. We have the EACC that have done a lot of raids in Wajir County. Although that is not in my affidavit, but in the news and everywhere, over 6 times the county headquarters of Wajir County has been raided because of malpractices, because of corruption issues. So we found it necessary now, as members of the County Assembly, performing a constitutional duty to carry out an impeachment process. That is why I'm here today.
So explain the main complaints you put in your affidavit in terms of corruption, in terms of all these issues as it relates to the first lady.
In my affidavit, paragraph 5, we say that the governor has allowed his wife literally to run the county affairs as the de facto authority. Why do I say so? Because, you know, devolution has come up with a lot of good things for Wajir County specifically. Because we never had a lot of resources coming to our people. So we expected at least life to change by bringing in developments, in especially the water sector, the roads, the health. And those ones now, the government does not do it specifically on itself. It contracts people to do development projects. So others are advertised, others are given through quotations. It has come to a point where for you now, as a supplier, as a contractor, to secure a job in the county government of Wajir, you must be able first to part with money for you to get that contract. Then you go and do that project. After you do the project, you come for payment. You again have to part again with a bribe. It is called 10% in Wajir of any project that you do. When you do prior to getting the tender and when you do after. Once again now, for you to be paid, it becomes a very big problem. So, and what I said is the First Lady, you have issues where she has taken bribes and money being deposited into accounts. For instance, in paragraph number 7, if you look at it, on the 9th of October 2017, a sum of Kenya shilling 6 million was deposited in an account ending with 7550. I'll take you to my second affidavit today. I'm sorry it's not paginated, but I think everybody has that. That is a statement of the account of Khaira Omar Malim. On October 9th, a sum of Kenya shillings 6 million was deposited in the account. That is a straight bribe, a kickback. On the 11th of 2017, the sum of Kenya shillings 2,600,000. That is also reflected in the account statement. And again, on the 27th of October, a sum of 4,600,000 shillings with the account of Khaira ending with 7550. Further, according to our investigations, you know, as oversight body. Okay.
The document referred to as being a bank statement from the face value does not appear to be a bank statement, because what I have here is a copy that has a stamp of Ethics and Corruption Commission. It doesn't have any face of a bank. I don't know what it is. I would rather get to understand it. We are looking at the same or the right document.
Council for Governor, any comment?
Chairman, thank you. Those are some of the issues that we were going to take up in cross-examination. It is, at face value not a bank statement. The person who seeks to produce it as a bank statement doesn't state where it comes from which bank it comes from, and that formed the substance of our objection earlier on. But if the committee wishes to entertain it as what the witness says it is, that's up to the committee. But we have certain stringent objections, and we want to test this evidence by cross-examination. Hence, my request to reserve my cross until tomorrow.
I think you have added the issue raised by Senator Linturi, and the burden is on the County Assembly to convince this committee that this is indeed a bank statement. So proceed, bearing that in mind.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. You will answer those questions, but continue now.
Okay. On the 11th of November 2017, that is on paragraph 11 of my affidavit, Osman Abdi Jimali, whom I'm going to talk about in more, deposited also a sum of Kenya shillings 1 million into Khaira Omar's bank account ending with 7550. Your Chairman, on the 18th of December 2017, Omar Abdullahi, who is a contractor and a director of a company named as FATCO, deposited a bribe of Kenya shillings 9 million shillings into the account of Khaira Omar for him to get a tender for construction of a 60 cubic meter water plant at Shimbire. That is also shown in the statement that I have. Chair, we also have proxy companies. Before I go to that also, we also have on the following deposit, that's on paragraph number 12, the following deposits were made by one Isa, Abdulrazak Isa, to Khaira's account on the 15th December, a sum of 625,000 shillings. On the 1st of March 2019, the sum of 800,000 shillings. On the 6th of April 2019, the sum of Kenya shillings 900,000 was deposited on the account. On the 25th of May 2019, the sum of Kenya shillings 800,000 was deposited into account. And on the 7th of November 2019, sum of Kenya shillings 900,000 was deposited. Again, on the 28th of November 2019, the sum of Kenya shillings 900,000 was deposited in an account. The total amount of money that came from Abdulrazak Isa and deposited into the account of Khaira is 4,925,000. Chairman.
Now,
Chair, with your kind permission, just seeking your guidance as to whether or not it would be prudent for us to ascertain the authenticity of this document before the witness testifies on it, so that the document itself, if relied and goes on record, then it turns out that the document is unreliable and inadmissible. Where shall we be leaving, one, the character of the person being referred to here? And of course, when I address the question of the character, Chair, I'm alive to the fact of the Article 28, which provides that everybody has a right to have that, to have dignity, and that dignity upheld and respected. If all this goes on record and the authenticity of this document stands out to be questionable, where shall we leave the right of Article 28 of the person being referred to? Much obliged.
Yes, Council, your sentiments are noted, and as your leading counsel, Nyamodi, pointed out, once you do cross-examination, then as a committee we will know the kind of weight to accord this particular document. But as I said, the burden is on the County Assembly to convince this committee that this indeed is a bank statement. I said bear in mind that burden. Proceed.
Chairman, I think what my learned colleague is saying is slightly broader than what I had said. He's saying that there are allegations here being made about people, and the basis of the allegation is what purport to be bank statements, and those bank statements have not been authenticated. And the question he asks is that this witness will leave testimony, and we know that this is a political process. The information will be out there. What then will be done to heal any damage that will have been done by the admission of whatever these documents purport to be?
Mr. Chairman, can I express myself, because I think my learned friend wants to have both ways. They elect not to call these witnesses.
Yes, Counsel.
Yes,
Senior Counsel.
Mr. Chairman, my learned friends want to, I mean, they're pontificating. They put themselves on a certain pedestal, then they want to lecture us on this. Mr. Chairman, as I said this morning, Khaira is the most pivotal witness in these proceedings. Everything rotates around her. She is the center of gravity. She is the fulcrum about all these things. This committee, in its wisdom, said that you will not call her. But everything, every allegations on this matter touches her. Now that she is not being called, either voluntarily or involuntarily, they can't come and say that, you know, every time there is human dignity, there is this. At the right time, we will address the legal issue that comes out of this. It's very simple. It's for us to show this committee persuasively that this is a proper document that is admissible in law.
Chairman, perhaps let me make a suggestion that will perhaps advance this matter. And that suggestion is this. The proceedings of this committee are serious proceedings. And the proceedings of this committee enjoy the privilege that proceedings before this House enjoy. If, Chairman, and this is my suggestion, if this committee finds that the documents that purport to be bank statements are not authentic, then I urge the committee to restrict that privilege so that appropriate action can be taken against those who brings documents such as this and seek to abuse the privilege of this House. That is the recommendation that I urge that you make. If they cannot authenticate these documents, then let them face the full face of the law. This is not a game. It is a very serious affair.
As I've said, finally, as we conclude, this committee will look at the veracity and authenticity of this document. So that there will be a pronouncement on the what weight to accord this document. So for now, let's proceed.
Now, when you have looked into all these witness, when you have looked into these bank statements, I can see there's an attachment on that affidavit, the last document. Can you explain that last document to the committee?
Oh, the photography.
Yes.
I get this one.
Yes.
Oh.
Is it an attempt to create a nexus between all these companies and money and Khaira?
Yes.
Explain briefly what it means.
Hopefully, everybody does it. Here, at the top is the National Treasury, where we receive money from the Exchequer. Then it trickles down to the county treasury that is based in Wajir. From there now, we have the suppliers or the contractors who have been awarded contracts are now being paid. Here I have got one director by the names of Osman Abdi Jimali, who has 7 companies. This is a man whom I said in my affidavit is an associate or runs proxy companies for the governor and his wife. He is paid a total of 305,447,589 shillings. That is just one director. A single release from Treasury, he can be paid 5 to 6 companies. when in 2017, at the start of this, the administration of this county government now, we have suppliers who have not been paid for a project of 1 million Kenya shillings. So you can ask yourself, what is the relation? How connected is this person for him to be paid 305 million shillings when a supplier from 2016 or even 2015 from the previous administration will not even be paid 1 million shillings? Number two, is another director who owns 4 companies: Ajwa Construction, Blue Valley Investments, Triple Isa, Sabaho Investments. This is a boy who runs errands, because I know, and I'm from the county government, from Wajir County. He runs errands for the first family. We also call him 10% because he's the collector of that. He's the one who deposits money into the accounts of Khaira, as I said before. His companies are not even 2 years old for it to be given such projects. But because of the connection and the proxy companies that he runs for, he is paid 110 million shillings. In one single release, if I may refer you to pages 40 and 41. Pages 40 and 41. This contractor was paid 13 times, a single director. From a release of 199 million shillings, is paid 45 million Kenyan shillings. When we have over 1,000 suppliers in Wajir. Pages 41, pages 40A and 41. If I may go through, the companies are Blue Valley Investments, paid 2.6 million, 63,000. Blue Valley Investments, 2,846,597. Blue Valley Investments, 3,120,000. Blue Valley Investments, 3,122,000. Come down, Sabaho Construction, 3,213,000. Triple Isa, 3,213,000. Ajwa Construction Company Limited, 3,305,000. Ajwa Construction again, 3,382,000. Ajwa again, 3,397,000. Sabaho again, 3,489,000. Blue Valley Investment, 3 million. You come down again to Ajwa, another Ajwa. On page 41. Sabaho Construction Limited, 3,489,000. Then, if you go to page 34, page 35, you'll find the CR Tolof for Triple Isa. The shareholder, the director is Abdirazak Isa Mohammed. You go to page 36, it is a Blue Valley Investment. The director is Abdirazak Isa Mohammed.
And can you tell the committee when those companies were registered?
Those companies were registered and on page 37.
No,
page,
look at that 5, page 35.
Page 35. Yes. It was registered on 14th August 2019.
And page 35?
Page 35 was registered 1st August 2019. And page 37, 22nd July 2019.
Now let me just put you one question. Look at this company called Fatco Company Limited.
Yes.
Fatco. There is some company Fatco. Is it? Yes, yes. Now that you say that company, you say Umar Abdullahi owns the above company. A bribe amounting to 9 million was paid to Khaira, and there is the diagram showing.
Yes.
Where is that? How do you know that it is Umar that paid this 9 million?
Excuse me.
How will you tell the court? I mean, tell the committee how you make that conclusion that 9 million was paid by Umar?
From the time you just look at the dates that contract was being advertised, and the date that deposit was made into the account of Khaira. You correlate. Again, what I know is an active file at the AACC now of Farfatco that's being investigated already.
So is it your testimony that you are saying that you look at the date when this was paid by the county government? When
No,
you look at when payment
this kickback of 9 million
Right.
was for him to be awarded the project, not after payment. It was a prior payment.
What
I
of this
think
one?
what senior counsel has asked, how do you link the fact that the money was deposited in cash and the allegation that it came from Fatco? I think that's what senior counsel is asking you to explain to the committee.
Yes, I said the information I have.
From who?
I think it's privileged, Chairman.
Pardon?
I think I cannot disclose my.
You know that
My source.
That question has come from your lawyer, and you need to answer it to us, to our.
Just answer the
Yeah.
best of your knowledge.
Okay, and there was a complaint because this tender that Omar paid for the bribe. He was not the lowest bidder. We had two lowest bidders than him who could not get that project. So from our investigations, we came to know that it was because of the kickback that facilitated him to be given that project.
And is it your evidence now that
Chairman, sorry to interject, Senior Counsel. Chairman, perhaps it would have been a lot neater if those explanations were included in the statement. Because those explanations are now being introduced to fill gaps in the statement. I'm not sure whether that is proceedable.
So was that in your statement anywhere?
Mr. Chairman,
What you are saying?
Mr. Chairman,
If
I
you
think
can
that-
clarify,
Excuse me?
is what you are telling us in your statement?
Yes, it's my affidavit.
Which paragraph?
On 18th December, paragraph 11B.
11B.
Yes.
On 18th, Omar deposited.
On 18th of December 2017,
Mhm.
Mr. Omar Abdullahi deposited a sum of cash 9 million to Ms. Khaira's bank, account ending with 7550. Mr. Omar Abdullahi is the director of one of the companies, many companies who have been awarded tender by Wajir County government. This specific tender number WCG/T/393/2017/2018, was advertised on 16th November 2017 for the construction of a 60,000 meter cubic water plant at Timbiri in Wajir South.
Okay, Councillor Nyamodi, I think there's some explanation there.
The question that he was asked and where he is struggling to fill the gaps is how did he know this?
But Mr. Chairman, I think it's not the law, and it has never been, and I don't think it will ever be, that a witness can be shackled by the witness statement he gives. He can expound on it. That's the law. There's nothing that stops him to give more evidence from the witness's stand.
I think Councillor Nyamodi, to me, he says that on 18th December, Mr. Omar Abdullahi deposited 9 million into Hera's bank account. So you can also test the veracity of that statement when you cross-examine.
Very
But
well,
the
Chairman.
allegation is made, it's there.
If he could be so kind to answer then the question that his own advocate asked him of how he knew.
Proceed.
Yes, now, there's a lot of other evidence you give in relation to this matter. Look at paragraphs 14 and 15 of your witness statement.
Yes.
Yes, explain what you mean. Paragraph 14 and 15 and 16.
Sometimes in mid-January 2018,
Yes.
after the governor exhausted his budget, he instructed the former CEC Finance to use a substantial portion of his department's budget for purposes of purchasing a motor vehicle, Land Cruiser, for the governor. Advertisement was placed
If you may
to
allow me
invite.
to interject just one for the last time, and I seek your guidance. The witness, when he took the stand, took oath. The kind of the nature of the document that we are having here is a statutory deponent. So we are having two situations whereby a witness has taken oath, provide a statutory declaration. He has taken oath while at the stand, so we will be left and will be at a loss to know exactly how we shall test the veracity. And that is why it would have been prudent for a witness who has taken oath through an affidavit, just adopts it, and then is put to cross-examination. The witness who has not taken oath and has just done a mere statement, then can be taken through the process of examination in chief for purposes of having some tidy work.
But I think now that we are where we are, let's proceed where we are proceeding, so that we finish. Proceed, Council.
Okay.
Yes, explain, continue explain.
Yes.
Paragraph 14, 15, 16, and 17. And do it quickly, please.
But you know, Chair, if I'm interjected a lot, I will also lose. So I also request to be given some time at least to explain myself.
Just try. They say you should,
Thank you.
You should scale the stairs and chew gum at the same time. So just try. They also have the interest of their clients, so they want to be sure that what you are doing will not be prejudicial to their client. But just try. Try to bear with the situation.
Okay. Let me go back. Sometimes in mid-January 2018, after the government exhausted his budget, he instructed the former CEC Finance to use a substantial portion of his department's budget.
Without reading, just
Yes.
explain what is the issue in
Okay.
paragraph 14, 15, 16, and 17.
We will be able to read the
Yes, yes.
affidavit.
Just explain.
Yes, but you can make
Point you are
a
making.
small explanation. We'll be able to read through.
Okay, it is that the governor and his wife gave orders that they needed a vehicle, but they didn't have the budget. So the CEC Finance was forced to do it. But he said, no, I don't have. But because of the powers vested, the executive powers vested with the governor, he went ahead and instructed the Department of Procurement to make the advertisements, but there was a protest by the CEC that is an irregular process. But eventually a vehicle was bought, KCQ 004U, a Toyota Land Cruiser.
So what's the problem? If they buy that, what's the point of it?
The point I'm making is that the purchase of the vehicle was unilateral, irregular, and had not gone through the normal process of budgeting and approval.
And how much it will cost?
The vehicle, the amount that money was used was 26 million shillings. And on the 2nd of July, Dio Construction Company Limited was given a tender. And in that tender again, after payment of that money to Dio's account, on the 3rd of July, Dio Construction Limited transferred the sum of Kenya shillings 2,220,000 shillings to Mr. Yusuf Mohammed Abdi's account ending with 0967. And on the same day, Cosmos Cars Limited was paid the sum of Kenya shillings 14 million from Dio Construction Limited. Yeah, this matter is being investigated by the EACC, and the vehicle is still being held, as I know. The vehicle is being held pending investigations by the EACC. Yes. The complaint is that Arag Construction Limited is a company associated with the governor, and they have just been awarded a project, a ghost project of regulation of waterworks at Fadiwin. It's a project that has never been done. It doesn't even exist. It has not even been implemented, but money has been paid to the directors of that company, a sum of Kenya shillings 3,376,684. If you even go now to Fadiwin, is a location, there is no project of this type in that place. Aska Company Limited was also awarded to supply food to the county government. A sum of Kenya shillings 23,530,517 was paid to that company. And in Haska's account, that money was reflected. Then on the 29th of June 2019, Ms. Farhia Mohammed, the daughter of the governor, Wajir, was sent the sum of Kenya shillings 4,500,000 shillings. Yes, if you go to page 7 and 8. You'll find on the 29th, Faria's bank statement, a sum of Kenya shillings, 4,500,000 shillings. Before we go to paragraph 23, paragraph 20, on the money paid to Dayo for the motor vehicle, a sum of Kenya shillings 4 million was sent to Townsville Holdings Limited, and Townsville again sent back that money to Faria's account. That was on the 3rd of July. That is when Dayo sent that money to Townsville Holdings Limited. Then on the 10th of September 2018, Townsville sent 4 million shillings to Faria's account. If you go to page 7, you'll find it.
Yes, Honorable Ahmed, I want you to conclude this matter, but is it, let me ask you, is it, considering the contents of your affidavit, is it your evidence that any contract given in Wajir, the family of the governor, either himself, his wife, or his kids get a cut?
Yes.
And is it your evidence that these bank statements, both from the central bank account and these other banks, are testimony to that?
Yes.
Would you like to adapt your evidence and annex it as evidence for this committee?
For sure, yes.
Alan friend can start.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Barry Hamid. We still have about 5 minutes. Councillor Nyamodi, you requested you to reserve your cross-examination to tomorrow. Honorable Senators, we have 5 minutes. If you have any clarification before we adjourn at 6. Anybody who wants to seek a clarification? Senator Petronila Were.
Just one clarification. You said Arag Construction Company directors are associated with the governor. What relation is there between those directors and the governor? Since you are able to prove about the wife and the daughter Farhia, what about the directors of Arag Construction?
These are family relations, Chairman.
Where can we get that in your documents?
What?
That evidence of the relation, the way you are being asked.
Oh, I said they're associated, but I didn't specifically say. But I know when I say it is associated.
So you don't have any evidence on what we have before us? What we have before us?
No, I don't have the birth certificates to prove that.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Oh, Senator Kavindu.
Thank you, Chairman. This document that the witness is giving to us is a bank statement. Does it mean that this document is from there? Or
Yeah, that, you got the question?
Yes, I've got the question.
Can you answer?
The documents are stamped ACC, but these are copies. So I do not have the originals, but these are the copies I got.
She's asking if you
Yes.
get them from EACC.
No, I didn't get from ACC.
Senator Madam, are you satisfied with the answer? Yeah, she wants me to clarify how you got them, if you're able to explain.
I got from my source.
Okay, I think that's okay. We'll put it on record that you got them from a source.
Yes, Your Honor.
Senator Susan Kihika.
Chair, I hear the witness saying they got them from their source, but at the same time, I mean, like somebody said, it's a really important. So for us to be able to give them property value, we kind of need some seriousness. As if, first of all, it's not even elected. So I don't, you have made it given, and I have the other country. So if the only stamp there is that of the ACC, but you're also saying they didn't give it to you, I mean, it just seems, and forgive me, but it just seems very prejudicial to the other side. If you cannot, in any manner, help us understand where the difference.
So, correct. Some files have been cast on your document.
Yes.
And, it's upon
Can I
you-
consult my
It's
advocate,
upon you
please?
to convince the committee that these are authentic documents, even as you don't want to disclose your source. There is, Senator Susan is raising some doubt. How do you convince her that you did not make these documents in river?
I'm saying, can I consult a minute with my advocate?
Pardon me?
Can I consult my advocate, please?
You?
Unless
we-
he's suggesting.
Can we
Yeah,
get
no,
some
from the
answer
board.
we can put on record?
Yeah.
Yes?
What do you say?
Can you get some answer for Senator Susan Kihika?
Currently, I'm not positive, but I will explain.
Okay, very well. Very well.
Yeah, was-
Senator Inturi.
Chairman, because of this, whether you have attached anywhere documents to demonstrate that such processes, especially in terms of documents who are involved in the evaluation of these tenders, and whether there is any letter to show yes, there was that 60 million worth of, no, the 60,000 cubic millimeter of a dam, where you are lending 9 million shillings having been paid as a bribe, so that at least you can be able to check the documentation and see a flow. So maybe 9 million was paid, the handback was on this date, after the handback, 9 million was paid, and immediately after the property being paid, yeah, a letter of a one was given, something like that, at least to be able to create some flow, and which you can actually make inference and see whether the story being given here is a creation in the mind, or is actually something that is really supported by documentation. Because it's critical, we want justice for everyone.
Mr. Honorable Mohammed, your response?
Chairman, you know, as the council and even the Honorable Senator said, it's a serious issue, and I know it's a serious issue because appearing before the Senate, of the committee of the Senate, with this motion of impeaching the governor is not a serious, is not a small matter. At the same time, Chair, you also know it's not also going to be easy to get documents to prove such a case. So with me, I've done my part to bring this documents that I have and to prove to this honorable court under oath.
So you're not able, are you on side, your satisfaction because you're right? Okay, now, Honorable, sorry. Yes, Honorable Alugura.
The witness tell us whether it's aware whether it has been concluded or it's ongoing.
Well, on this issue of FATCO, there is an active investigation going on, as far as I know.
You satisfied, Senator Algura? He says there are active investigations that are ongoing.
Chair.
Are you satisfied with that answer?
Yeah, I'm satisfied.
Thank you. Honorable Gidiomi, Senator Gidiomi.
Thank you, Chair. We were told that the governor's wife has been chairing meetings in Wajir County government, but no substantiation has been brought to us. Can the witness say how the governor's wife has been chairing the meetings and give us proof that she actually shared the meeting?
Honorable Hamid.
Thank you. It's an open secret. But proving is also another issue. Because by proving, I need to come with videos and photos to prove that she has been chairing such a meeting. With me now, I do not have. But if I have been, I'll be given the opportunity to come back with it
By the lounge briefly.